Susie Banyan decided to perfect her ballet studies in the most famous school of dance in Europe.
Roses are red.
What do witches do?
They are malefic.
Violets are blue.
Negative and destructive.
But the iris is the flower that will mean the end of it.
You can run from Suspiria.
Susie, Sarah.
You can hide from Suspiria.
Names which begin with the letter S.
But you cannot escape.
Are the names of snakes.
Suspiria.
Welcome, everybody, to Midnight Cinema. I am Art Hennessey in San Diego.
And I am Helena Markos in Salem, Massachusetts. I'm here for the podcast. So pardon me.
My gosh, we have a special guest, I guess, from this week's movie. So if you weren't able to tell from Erik's introductions, we are talking this week about the movie Suspiria. Or should I say Suspiria?
Suspiria.
Yes. A 1977 movie directed by Dario Argento, starring Jessica Harper, Stefania Cassini, Joan Bennett.
Joan Bennett, yes.
Joan Bennett in her last film role.
Her last amazing film role.
Yes, this is an Italian horror film that took the world by storm.
It did, right?
1970s. It did.
I bet people are excited about us covering this because it both hit us pretty hard in some fashion, I'm guessing, right? This film hit you hard, did it?
It hit me hard. I, of course, didn't see it when it came out. Yeah, I think we were a little too young for our parents to let us go see this. But here is my lore from this movie is my parents would go to the drive-in a lot. That was a thing that they would go and they would take the kids and we would see Disney movies and things like that. But sometimes they would see, I would say PG rated movies at the drive-in, but they would just bring all of us kids and we would go with the neighbors. But I do distinctly remember seeing the trailer for Suspiria at a drive-in we were at.
Tell me, because I have the same thing, Art. The same thing as that effing trailer.
That trailer, now looking at it, you're like, wow. So just to describe to people this trailer, you can go online and watch them.
Yes,
but they used to play on TV all the time too. But I remember first seeing it at this drive-in, and it's a woman from behind, and they do a little nursery rhyme.
Yes.
Do you remember what the nursery rhyme is?
Oh, I do it.
Let's hear it, Erik.
It in my head, this freaking thing. Roses are red. Violets are blue. The iris is a flower. That will lead the end of you. It's just, and then you're this woman's combing her hair with a brush. Is a black background. I was terrified of this thing because when it turns around, you in your young imagination would think it's a horrific thing. Which it was. I had nightmares of this face, and now I look at it and I go, wait, is this different? What was the face?
So it swings around, and it's very much the image from the end of Psycho. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Psycho. When the chair turns around and it's a skull sort of face on there.
Yeah, but it's a skull. It's not.
But that's it. That's the trailer.
Skull.
Yeah,
Art, that scared the shit out of me. And you just said it too. When you saw that preview, I would see it on television because I think it was like home box office or whatever. They kept showing the same movies. And as soon as that freaking ad, because they used to show ads, as soon as that ad started coming on, it's like, roses are red. I would shut the TV off. I was terrified of just that.
Yeah. And the ad is, we talked about, some number of episodes ago, we talked about The Shining and the famous trailer, which was just the elevator with the blood. And we talked about these simple trailers. This gives you nothing about what this, it kind of does. It gives you the whole secret of the movie if you think about it.
It sure does. Shuts down this secret.
Yeah, right away. But it's very quick, but I always remember the announcer on it. Suspiria. That was
And I remember the letters scared the crap out of me. I thought they were pulsating letters like Pee Wee Herman, but they were kind of watery, pulsating, scary. It scared me.
Almost like lungs or a heart or something, and they were sort of pulsating. So this was a scary trailer. It really was eerie and scary. It was always this thing you would see in the newspaper ads. When you look in the newspapers, you'd see Suspiria on there, and you'd be like, "Ooh, that's scary." Almost like, and you and I like horror even from a young age, but you sort of got the feeling like that might be too scary for me.
Too scary. Right? But we watched it. We're unsupervised. My mom is great. She worked all the time. She'd come home to us watching things like Rosemary's Baby or Suspiria, and she walks in on this particular scene that was horrific.
Which I'm sure we're going to cover.
Yeah, and her reaction is, "What are you guys watching?"
Yeah.
Going, I don't know. And then she had to keep going. So we watched that thing. And that movie scarred me when I was little. Seeing it again, my maybe late high school years, I was like, what? This movie scared me. But when you watch it with intent and the memory of how it scared you, it actually, I'm telling you, I don't know how people feel about it, but I think it's something about it is terrifying. And at the same time, you're like, wait, this is silly.
Well, let's just talk briefly about one of the reasons that might be is it is constructed and conceived and developed with the idea of children's eerie fairy tales. That was his impetus for making this. His idea of it was, can we create a horror movie, a bloody, pretty violent, brutal at times movie?
It does have that, yeah.
But have a modern feel mixed with maybe Grimm fairy tales type of aesthetic to it. And they went into it like that. So the idea of when we were kids seeing this and it just primally hitting us on a level of this is so scary makes a lot of sense.
No, I didn't think of it that way, Art. I know why. Yeah, because you're in the Alice in Wonderland is already freaking you out. You don't know why. Other things like that, the Grimm fairy tales. And I think knowing this going in, if you don't know anything about the movie, but if you don't know anything about the movie, going in with this idea helps, and other ideas help, like the cinematography and the colors. It all helps. I think if you go into it not knowing what it is, I don't know how you'd feel about the movie
today. I don't know. I was curious while I was watching it too. What people would think. So this was developed that way. Erik, you also mentioned the cinematography and the colors, which was all very, very deliberate. I know Eric's like, I opened up a box. Art's going to dig in the box.
I beg you to talk about it.
I know.
Why?
I don't know, Erik. But the cinematographer, Luciano Tovoli, it's Luciano Tovoli.
No, just look at me.
Yeah. Luciano Tovoli.
Okay. No,
he's a very accomplished cinematographer, Erik.
Luciano Tovoli.
Yes. And he approached it as a big challenge with Dario Argento. And one of the first things that Dario Argento asked him was watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs from Disney. Yep. And that's the idea that we want for the color schemes, for the idea, for the aesthetic of this movie. So they went into it like that, and they used the technicolor process, which we know from those bright technicolor movies of the 50s. So they used some of the same process as that to create these really pretty striking images. They really are. Even on this rewatch, Erik, I'm just like, wow, this is gorgeous in moments of this movie.
It is, especially if you watch it on a Blu-ray or something like that. All of the colors come out. And I never think about how things affect me in life because I don't care. But then when something like this hits me, I have the Lost Museum, as you know, in Salem, Massachusetts, and each room I didn't realize there's a certain color palette, and now I go in there and I go, oh my gosh, this is Suspiria. I accidentally somehow in the back of my mind created these one color rooms because it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, and so the idea was to lean really hard. You're much more of an artist than I am.
Well, that's absolutely true.
It is true. But you would know that they just leaned hard into the three primary colors, right? They decided it's not shades as much as we're going to go harder into those
it's
primary
a wash.
colors.
It is a wash of color.
Yeah. And this is all very deliberate. We talk about sometimes movies where we have artists who are doing things for different ways. I think this was all constructed. Everything you see was with a thought of how is this going to make people feel? And secondary to that is constructing a plot that makes a lot of sense.
Oh,
right?
Wait. Now, but do you mean, when you say plot, do you mean like one paragraph of what's supposed to happen in the movie?
Right.
It's like, this is what happens. So you and I are not going to have a lot to talk about because, there's no plot. So we really can't be talking about different scenes.
So people should know, if this is the first time listening to the podcast, we sort of go through the movie, and sometimes Eric and I discuss, what are they trying to do here with the plot, or why, what would have been better to do here, or how they do this. This movie isn't concerned as much with that. It to start with, it came from a couple of sources, a dream that apparently somebody had. I think his girlfriend at the time had a dream. And then he was also very interested in sort of these occult writings from the early part of last century.
Yes.
And geography.
What is it? The magic
triangle where Sweden, Switzerland, France, and Germany meet.
Yeah.
That one
triangle.
point.
And
the magic triangle. His
girlfriend, perfect match for him, because her girlfriend dreams of schools with witches and exploding panthers, which they include in the movie. They couldn't actually, find a way to bring a panther in and explode it, but they do make that pay off. And knowing that, I was like, oh, there's the exploding panther.
Yeah. And so I get the feeling in interviews, especially from the early part, I don't know how you feel. Dario Argento talked about it much later, but did you get the feeling like in any of your research, I think Dario Argento sort of believes in supernatural and the occult. He might actually kind of is into this stuff a little bit.
Art, I live in Salem, Massachusetts. I mean, I have pentagrams hanging over my bed to stave away Helena Markos and the.
Yes,
I think so. Why not? Yeah. Well, I think they add that in the exposition scene, we'll call it, just in case we have no idea. But they do talk about how science and witchcraft are one thing. So I thought, that's cool. That's cool. But this movie, I don't even know. People listening to this podcast for the first time, I will correct you, is that you talk extensively about the scenes and I try to shut you up. That's the podcast, Art.
That is the podcast. And
then I talk about, inappropriate jokes. That's our podcast. It has nothing to do with horror movies. But I'm excited about this one because how many times you watch Suspiria?
I've watched Suspiria a number of times. I don't watch it like a lot, but every few years I watch it. And I did go to see it when they had the big restoration a number of years ago where they restored it. And I think it coincided with probably one of the Blu-ray releases. But they were
Blu-ray
releases. Yes. But they put it on the big screens, which is really a great place to see this movie.
I saw it on Blu-ray at a friend's house, and it was a completely different movie.
Yeah.
And also I got the knowledge of Suspiria at that house. So this person was like, and and I thought, oh my God, it's Art Hennessey. But it wasn't.
They were like the X-ray on the Amazon Prime where it tells you all the trivia as you're going along. Like a living like X-ray.
Or pop-up video. It was like that.
So let's get into it, Eric. So we're getting right into this.
See, I already have goosebumps, Art. I don't know why I'm not afraid of this movie.
Well, because this movie starts with a Goblin score. So I think Goblin, the band Goblin, gets our 2-time popcorn bucket, Eric. An award that we give to people or elements that appear twice. So far, this is the second time. Goblin had a score in the Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead in 1978.
The original,
which we covered.
Yeah. And they're called something else, too. They're not actually called Goblin. They changed their name
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they have another name. It's some regular name. And then for Suspiria, and the other one was like Goblin because it sounds scary. It's scary. That name
It is
scares me
scary.
off.
It
I was
comes right
afraid of
in.
Goblin.
It comes right in on that soundtrack. You can tell big influence on John Carpenter, I would imagine, right? As we're hearing this. And then what's interesting is it starts out, we have the credits popping on the screen. And then mid soundtrack, we get a little exposition comes on to the soundtrack.
Yes. It's like a documentary.
Yes.
Was it the young girl, Susie, somebody gets off the plane in terms of the...
Yeah.
What? Why are we?
They didn't even wait for the credits to be over.
No.
They just kind of popped it on.
Well, at least you know
during the credits.
Going. You don't have to go.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
let's talk about
very,
that girl. That girl, when you see the person coming in, who had some, she had some fame. Something about her was you're just transfixed to her face, and I think Argento said he cast her because of her eyes. And
I believe it.
This movie has like wide eyes, thin body, sort of young girlish, but this person's eyes, Susie's eyeballs, you can't take your eyes off her face. I don't know about you, but I'm staring her in the face almost the whole movie. Like, whoa.
You had the same thoughts I did watching this movie again. And especially at that time I saw it on the big screen. You're like, okay, there are people who are made for looking at on a movie screen.
Oh my God.
And she is one of them. So interesting. And the camera just loves her. And in doing my research about the cinematographer, he was just talking about how lighting her was just it's like almost like just a great experience using her face for shadows and light and things like that. Well, it was like, he was talking about it like it was one of the best canvases I ever had
And while we're talking about that art, that also the director said that she had an amazing voice, but he's like, it's a shame we'll never hear it because the whole movie is dubbed, and I can't stand a dubbed movie. Like, I will search for it if the movie is dubbed and doesn't have subtitles in the original language with subtitles in English. I can't watch the movie. This movie, for some reason, it works for this movie.
It works. Like I did get the feeling this time through, Eric, watching it. I'm like, I wonder if anybody has tried to do a better dub of it. Like, in other words, with the voices. Like, if anybody's said,
I don't know, Art.
You know what? I need to do like a better dub
Why would you do that, Art?
Of these voices. Well, I will say Jessica Harper's dub comes off not as bad as some of the others, the main character.
No, especially if you know what their voices sound like for real. That one of them just takes me right out of the movie. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So okay. I just want to point those things out because this scene in particular is the only real part of the movie. The airport is reality. And then as soon as you step out into the rain, it's now the entire world is a different world. And the music is both great and drives me up a frickin' wall.
Well, it's great that you say that, Eric, that you step outside those airport doors and you're like, wow, we're in a movie. But it even does it approaching. Do you notice that the soundtrack keeps cutting in and out?
No, I didn't notice.
When the it's very hard to ignore. But when the airport doors open as she's approaching them and she's looking at them, the airport doors open and you hear the music. Yeah. They close and it goes and it goes out and they open in front of her and then they close. And even right away, we're getting the colors though as she's walking through the airport. The two women on either side of her, they're dressed in red. There's like a red overhead light in the airport. We're seeing the signs are clearly different primary colors. And then she steps out and it is raining.
Oh, this is like Hollywood rain.
It is such rain. And this is where I'll quote somebody else, not me. John Carpenter, when he was asked about this movie, he said, I just remember that this movie starts with a young woman stepping out and getting a cab from the airport. He goes, but I remember being so overwhelmed watching it with dread and what's going on. And he's like, why do I feel this way? It's just a woman getting a cab outside of the airport. But he said the combination of the lighting, the music, and he said, and the rain, you just think you're just on edge right from the beginning. of the movie. And that soundtrack is relentless.
Yeah, that is
Erik.
a great word, Art. Relentless. I was trying to think of something because there's some points in the movie where I go, enough, Goblin. That's enough, Goblin, because they repeat one, not a chorus, but what is it? A stance? One stance over it.
Yes.
Oh, boom, boom. I'm like, okay, that's enough. Stop. But then when it stops, you freak out.
Yeah, because it will occasionally do that. It just cuts. It just cuts out
And you go,
the music.
I think it's a clever. Is he a genius, or is this movie just got so much hype over the years that?
Well,
really
have you watched much of his other movies?
movie.
Have you watched his other films?
I've seen a few. I didn't see the two new ones where they're doing the mother trio, the witches trio. I was told to skip, especially the third one. So I don't know.
The third one. I don't think I've seen the third one, but I've seen the second one. Inferno, I think, is the next one. So, but yeah, so this starts. She gets in the cab. She's going to the dance school, and she's got a cab driver who just but he appears in another movie. I think he appears as a cab driver. That same guy in another movie.
Wow, he's got a career
in the series. Yeah, in this series, I think he's a holdover in the cast to the next movie. So yeah, she's going to a dance academy, which we were told in the opening. She's an American ballet prodigy, and she's heading to the school, and it's great raining so hard we cannot overstate that. She's driving through the city, and it shows the water overflowing the sewers, and the rivers and the trenches in the city are like overflowing with water. And then they cut, and this is great, to a forest, and the cab's lights are sort of going through all these tall, bare, white trees, like something you'd see in a fairy tale.
Oh, no, yeah, they're all those thin trees, but packed together. Yeah.
So you're getting the feeling wherever she's going is outside the city. You got to go through this forest to get there.
Yes.
And then she pulls up, and just a little behind the scenes. I know I don't want to go into it too much, but she pulls up to the school, and I assumed watching it that is a real building, like that she's pulling up to, but they recreated that building. That's on a soundstage.
That's the question I wanted to ask you was, did they film this building, or did they make it?
They made it based almost actually specifically off a real building. They copied it right down to the brick.
So they got some budget here.
They have this budget. They have budget, and it looks great. It's red.
Oh,
building's super red. Even in the rain, you can see that it's red.
This is devil. This is like where the devil lives. You look at this building and you go, "Don't go in there, kid. Why would you do that? This is a ballet school covered in blood."
Yeah,
it's a really fantastic set.
So she pulls up, and this is we're going to get something that doesn't seem important right away, but it ends up being something they focus on through the whole movie.
Art, this is a pivotal piece of information.
Pivotal piece of the mystery here. But a woman is coming out as she's going in, and this woman is talking to somebody in the open doorway and yelling back and forth. And I went back and rewatched it. You can hear all of the dialogue when you watch it at the beginning. So because I was wondering this time through, I watched through the first time, and I went back and I said, oh, you can actually hear what she's saying to that other person, which is going to come back in the movie later.
It's such a weird shot because these are supposed to be, 18 to 23-year-olds, sort of that kind of.
Yeah.
So this person is like that, and all the women have the same exact body type.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
Well, they're dancers, so that does make sense.
Still, the eyes, it looks like they just switched out hair, but this girl's talking, she's like, oh my God, it's a weird.
She's talking sideways to somebody we can't see inside the doorway.
Yeah. And it looks like she's almost doing it. This is where it's kind of dreamy already. You're going, what is going on here already?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And I clocked it later. We're going to be told that she has a brown coat on. I clocked it as a red coat in the initial scene, but maybe I don't know, because I was like, it's like a little Red Riding Hood or something.
We should stop. All right. You know what? Let's stop. Let's
Yeah.
watch it, and then we'll come back to the podcast.
I
Who
know,
cares?
but I know who cares.
My God.
I do because I clocked it as
my
always just a
God.
little Red Riding reference.
Oh,
That's all.
there's no wolf in
so-
this. Oh, wait.
Nope.
There is. There is.
There is.
Oh,
Yes.
my God. There is.
So, then this
He takes
girl
off.
runs off. And Susie, who's coming to the ballet school, she tells the cab to wait. She goes up, and they're not letting her in the school. Whoever's answering the bell is saying, "What? We don't know who you are. Get out of here!" Like,
Get out of here.
yeah. And
She doesn't get in.
Yeah. So they don't let her in, and she gets back in the cab. And so she, I guess, is going to go stay at a hotel for the night or something. But as they're leaving, she's driving down the road and she looks over to her side and she sees the woman she just saw running through the trees.
Little Red Riding Hood. She sees Little Red Riding Hood running for her life.
Yeah. Running really hard through.
And probably really far, Art, because you're saying this is quite some distance away. Where the hell is she running to?
Well, she's running back to the city
Does
because
she get an
now
Uber?
this is where this movie's dreamlike, interesting quality plays in really quickly, Eric, because suddenly our dancer Susie is gone from suddenly we're following the girl who just ran away.
Yep. And if you don't pay that much attention, you're not sure. You're like, wait, is that Susie? No, she has blonde hair. Wait.
Yeah.
Like, wait.
Because they cut to, now the rain stopped. It's a great shot, Eric, because they cut to a row of buildings and it pulls up, it's out of a puddle. So we're seeing a reflection and it pulls up and then this girl is going to, I guess she has a friend who lives in town and she's going to stay with her.
Yes. Great dialogue too in the scene. Oh, you silly goose. I forget what it is. Oh, it sounds like almost younger girls are talking.
But if you thought that this is where the interiors with the primary colors come in. The lobby of this building is red with
my gosh. It's like an endless lobby ceiling height with a giant stained glass window, but it looks like a dream. It looks like an Alice in Wonderland type of situation.
You know what's interesting, Eric? I was like, this looks like it would be in a Wes Anderson movie.
Oh, Wes Anderson?
This hotel lobby, right?
You're right,
like, if you think about it, right? I was like, it reminded me a little bit like Budapest.
Except darker. Something's wrong with this place.
Yeah, richer.
Giant doorways.
Did you notice the elevator even was like a red thing that indicated which floor it was going up to?
Like a Universal Studios mummy ride thing. It's just some big gem thing.
Yeah. And then we cut right away and it's like a blue. The interior of this person's apartment is all blue. So right away, I think it's just, you're disoriented by the changes in these bright primary colors. And then the women that are talking, the two women are both in white. So they're standing out against the blue. The room they're in is all blue, but the doorways that go out of that room are into rooms that are white. So the doorways are all bright white. And I only say this, we're not going to go through everything in this movie like this because
Art said he's not going to go through everything in this movie.
We could take days deciphering this.
Art said he's not going to do it.
But I did want to point this out just so I admired this, but I'm also thinking about how this is unsettling you as an audience member, how this is making these switches like that with these colors can really, the sensory idea of them can really affect you.
Yep, and it happens throughout the whole movie. I will point out, when you start pointing it out in every scene, you go, you'll notice the blue here, and I'll use some.
I don't have to point it out in every movie. I've pointed it out now.
All right, fine. Not every movie, yeah. You mentioned every movie.
Not every scene.
Suspiria.
Every scene. But
this next scene scared the crap out of me. And once we talk about the scene, I'll tell you how it affected my babysitting career. It did affected my babysitting career.
Well, as you say, they're there. She's talking to her friend, and this is where the dub. This is if it's the first time you're watching this movie, this is where it jolts you. The dubbed voices, right, Eric?
Yeah. I don't know why it works, because for some reason this is such a weird movie that you would almost expect that something is also weird about their conversation, and it is. It's not extreme. It's not. Some of them it's perfect because they're speaking English, and others they're speaking Italian, German. I don't know, Lithuanian. It's so some of it matches and some of it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it definitely adds to the unusual.
And so her friend leaves her alone, her friend who's in the apartment. And so she's in a room and we notice that the window that goes out has outside, there seems to be curtains outside or laundry on a line or something.
Lingerie
right?
Art. It's
lingerie
black
on
lingerie.
A line. Yeah, on a
and
line.
It's on one line outside, and there's only 3 objects on it. And why are you afraid of those 3 pieces of lingerie? I don't know, but I am afraid.
Well, they do a cool thing where they cut to outside her window from a distance looking at her. And so you're seeing her looking out the window with the lingerie kind of floating in the front. And then they cut back to the room. And so you're getting the feeling with the visual language that something's watching her from afar. That idea.
My younger self I'm getting goosebumps. My younger self, me, I'm like, nah, it's not scary. My younger self is going, oh God, not this one, not this scene. Scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
She's looking out the window and something's out there.
Mm-hmm.
She's got those eyes too. So looking out. And what happens is another set of eyes is looking back at her, but like Cheshire Cat, right?
Yes.
It's just the eyes.
They're a yellowish tint a little bit.
I can see them right now in my mind. They're right there. And I freaked the hell out in that.
It's very indelible from when you're a kid, that moment, because they build up to it. They take a long time to build up to it. Once you've seen the movie and you go to the scene, you're like, you start to notice, wow, they really build up to this.
They're really taking their time.
She takes a lamp to look out, which is a weird thing, like to look outside, you take a lamp.
Yeah.
But what that lamp is really to do structurally is for us to be able to see her reflection in the glass of the window. So that's the practical way that they're doing that.
So before we go to the jump scare, this particular scene, there's the windows, and it's one big window with a split in the middle. So they kind of probably open out like this, typical European windows. And I had a babysitting job for like a cousin, and their kitchen had those effing windows right next to the sink. And when I got there during the day, just before it gets dark out, fine. But when it got dark, you couldn't see out those windows. And I would look at those windows and go, oh my God, it's Suspiria. And I had to force myself to go up to the window and look out the window. And it was very hard to babysit at that house because I thought those eyeballs were going to come after me, and then worse. So it affected me so much, that scene. Gosh darn windows.
The movie, Eric, is a blend of slasher film plus supernatural, because what happens here seems like something you'd see in like Prom Night or something, right?
Yes, I think the premise is that this guy Dario does murder mysteries. So if you look at this like a murder mystery, you're trying to find out who the killer is, because this woman gets attacked, and that hand coming through that window. Picture Art. Just remember, a little kid, you're watching this too. Little kid, this is a high up place.
Yeah.
So that anything is looking at you through that window has got to be supernatural. When a hand comes through, if you pause it, don't pause it. But if you do, you still can't see, trying hard to see past the arm all the way to the hand. It's like a unreasonably hairy arm with black claws on it, and it grabs her by the head and smashes her up against the window, and then it gets a little silly.
Well, it doesn't. It doesn't, because
it's
when they're
it's kind of
when they're pushing her face, we're getting the shot from the outside, and her face is really pushing up against that window. It did, because you and I think are actors. I did have to think about the actress. Must have been laughing having to push her face up against that window like that. I mean, she's obviously committed to this is very scary, but I'm sure between takes this was very funny. But her face is being pushed up against that glass, and meanwhile her friend is going crazy. Nuts. Her friend is trying to get in the house. What I like about it actually is, we see a lot of movies of horror, and I'm like, wow, the friend goes across the hall to try and
She's
help
not just
because-
sitting there. She's like,
Yeah,
"Let's
she's-
get help."
She's not. So she goes across the hall and is banging. She's banging on doors down the hallway.
Nobody's
Going out.
answering, Art.
Nobody's answering.
It's like a dream world. There's nobody else there. What's going on?
Yeah, and this would have been the time, I think, around of the Kitty Genevieve's thing. That was a famous thing in New York where the woman got killed out in the courtyard of an apartment building and nobody came to help her. She got killed. She was screaming and like nobody. That idea of like, oh, somebody will handle it. Oh, I don't want to get involved.
You're
but
a
like,
downer. You're Debbie.
No, but I wonder if that idea.
I don't know. I
is
didn't
in-
even know about
is in
that. Now I
something.
do.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Here.
Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
So
Thank you for that very much.
that's where my mind went on that. But yeah, so she's getting pushed and it pushes her through that glass, that
Right
window.
through the glass. Yeah.
Geez.
Where does she go, Art? She gets pulled
I don't-
out and then she's on where the hell is she?
I don't get the geography
Behind
at
the
all.
scenes?
of-
Is this like behind?
well,
Where
it's
is she?
going outside, but then I think suddenly she's on the roof.
Yes.
So-
Maybe
so
it
did
carried
this-
her up to the roof.
That's right. I think my thought of it, Eric, was that if this is supernatural and it can float outside the window, it can maybe bring her suddenly up to the roof after it
we
gets
just
her
didn't see that.
outside.
All of a
We
sudden
didn't
she's
see-
on some area.
We didn't see any of that, yeah. But it looks like it could be the roof. There's like vents and things. So because she's going to need to be up there. I know. I love how we break this stuff down.
Art, if
get
you're
up
a
there?
supernatural entity, right? You can float. You can make just your eyes appear, and you got claws. How are you gonna kill somebody? What do? You eat them? You slash their throat with your.
This is
claws?
very elaborate.
Oh my
This
God.
is there's a lot. Yeah.
This beast or whatever it is has a kitchen knife.
Yes, and it starts stabbing, and I will say, for stabbings, this is violent.
Oh yeah,
this is very violent, and I forgot how much of it there is. I forgot how many stabs she's taking. It was kind of. I was kind of I was drawing back. It was pretty visceral.
Yeah,
those
because
things.
he doesn't just it doesn't just stab her where you're like it cuts to the knife going in the body.
Yeah,
Very deliberate about it. And
and then suddenly she's on the top of the stained glass window.
Yeah.
That's in the lobby.
She's magic.
She's lying on there. This is where I was trying to figure out how she got there.
Confusing.
But then Eric also he's very this killer is extremely
thorough,
or did it plan this? It takes some sort of cord that's there, like an electrical cord or phone cord or something.
It looks like a really long white phone cord.
And you don't know exactly what it's doing. It's sort of jamming it into her thigh. It looks like it. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Like you're like, is he going to electrocute her? That's what your brain is.
Yeah.
Like what's happening? She's meanwhile dying on the top of this stained glass window, and her friend is making her way down levels, knocking on doors. And then he stabs her some more times. And then how does he? Did we see him cut open her chest, Eric?
It's like a science film where you're like, this is the heart of a rabbit.
Yeah.
It shows up. Yes, her heart is completely exposed.
Yeah.
And the killer makes a point to stab the heart, but it just like it looks like a science film. It just I could just picture Dario going, this will be so scary because we're going to show the heart and then we stab at the heart.
But it's all everything, you and I can break it down like that. But I think with the music pounding and the colors and then it's the blood comes out of the heart and you're just like, whoa, this is crazy. And then does he push her head, like her head goes through the stained glass, just her head at first goes through the stained glass window.
Yeah, like, ugh.
Yeah. And the head comes through and the friend is emerging into the lobby and she looks up. This is, for a horror movie, this is a great shot.
Mm-hmm.
The stained glass window is high above and you see her head through, like coming through the stained glass window. And that particular shot looks pretty real, but then it cuts to
really good.
But then it cuts to a shot of her coming a little bit more through the stained glass, and it looks a little like a dummy coming through the stained glass window. I know, I ruined the whole movie.
Yeah.
But then the whole stained glass window is gonna come through, and she's gonna come tumbling down with all these shards of multicolored stained glass falling with her.
Mm-hmm.
But now we understand what he was doing with that phone cord.
Oh my God. But it's very visceral. What the director does, like with the heart, he makes you look at it, he goes, look at this. And it's almost a stop. She's supposed to be hanging, but she's
yeah.
And it's so like
now I broke this down, so I am going to say, so what he did, it looks like he tied the loose noose around her waist, because that's why he was down by her hip. So if you watch it, when she falls, and then it starts to tighten and goes all the way up her torso onto her neck.
What?
To stop. Yeah, watch it again. Watch it again. That's why. But also it shows us that this is a phone cord connected to something, because it's yanking out all the staples as it goes along. And then she stops with her feet, like a couple of inches from the ground, or like a foot from the ground.
Knows what they're doing. They must have measured the cord.
And then it shows her. It's a very, like you said, an iconic image of her just with that, her head's limp to the side, and the camera pans down to the ground with, you brought up Alice in Wonderland earlier, right, Eric? It's the checkerboard black and white floor of the lobby, but there's the red blood on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we pan over.
Which a friend of mine told me, said that, no, it's not that blood is cheesy. They just didn't know. They did it on purpose. So this blood it's supposed to look like it's not real. It doesn't look real. It looks like somebody spilled a giant vat of nail polish.
Yeah.
Looks like that. But they did that on purpose.
Yep.
To make you think, okay, this is part of this. This is a fantasy, surreal nightmare. But what's even more of a
what do we see next, Eric?
Oh, gosh. I'm sure you noticed, but there's a shard in her face. Like this.
The friend is lying on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a face-sized shard. It's not like a little, and it's glass, so her face is reflected in the shard. I mean, how cool is that?
It was great. And I will say, Eric, all one shot, going down the girl who's hanging to her feet across the bloody floor. It was almost like them filming a diorama from Waxwork or something, right? A good
Waxwork,
one, but
great film. Great
film. Can you imagine this would be a good diorama in somebody's this little scene would be great in somebody's wax museum. But it's So her friend and her both dead. Feel bad for the friend. She's just sort of.
I know. And she had some other thing. I don't know what the hell was in her stomach, but it looked like a girder.
It looked like a part of the framing from up
was
top,
that what
maybe.
it was?
It looked like a metal bar.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite see it either.
Yeah, but it was cool. You're really shocked. You know what? You are jolted by this scene.
Yeah, I mean,
and you can watch this two different ways. You're like, oh, this is cool and scary, or you can look at it like, oh, that looks so stupid. The blood looks stupid. But that thing in her face, it looks like it's in her face. It looked like a real heart, but I just, it was so surreal that you're like, wait, is he puncturing a hole in her heart? I don't know.
So now we're cutting back. We're going to join up with Susie again.
Oh, is she in the movie?
She's in the movie. This is so intense. And then, that's right. Susie's here to come back to school. So she's coming to her first day of school for Susie.
Yeah.
At the
Alice in Wonderland, going to
at the building, which you mentioned earlier. Now we're seeing the building in bright daylight. That red is it is. Now that we're seeing it in bright daylight.
Yeah.
And we notice a blind man with a seeing eye dog is going in. He's going to come into this little later.
Looks kind of like a wolf, that dog.
Yes. And so she's at the dance academy, and she meets her instructor. Is it Ms. Tanner?
You ready?
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Hello. Oh, welcome. Welcome. She's got. She looks like she's like this the whole time.
Eric,
welcome to the school. She's got a
100% a Bond henchman, right? A villain, a Bond villain henchman, right? That's the archetype.
You know what? I swear to God. What is it? Yeah, baby. They used They used this movie for the model for what was the name?
Frau Blukina? Is that?
Yeah.
No, that's Young Frankenstein.
But the spy, come on. Help me.
Phobisina? Or I can't remember what her name is.
Send it to Fenbots! I swear to God, they just were like, you do this, woman. Do this.
Well, I think that's Rosa Krebs from Russia with Love. But this woman, yes, I thought that in the smile, Eric, you guys couldn't see it listening. Eric puts his teeth in this smile that's plastered on her face.
Oh my God.
Through the whole movie.
Just the spread teeth.
But she's a formidable person. Like that's why I said Bond henchman. She's kind of a strong, sturdy woman. Like,
can we say Frau? I'm German. I'm Swiss.
Yeah.
She's a Frau. She'll kick your ass with those black shoes. She will throw down with a gray suit. She's like, what's her name from Miss Trunchbull? She's like Miss Trunchbull's sister or something.
Yeah. So she's the head instructor here at the school.
Dance instructor.
Yes, dance instructor. Well, we're going to see later. She's really martial with those dance instructions. Yeah. Yes. And so she meets up with Susie and once you've seen the movie, you see what's going on here. When you're first watching it, I thought you were supposed to arrive last night. Well, I didn't. But there's, she's being introduced to people here. We meet the head of the academy, the Joan Bennett.
Joan Bennett
in her last film role.
What? He's star, right?
Oh yeah, way back. I think she was in one of the 30s version of Little Women, right?
Yeah,
she
mostly black and white stuff. So if you don't know who Joan Bennett is, you're not going to really. I don't think they give her much to do.
Yeah,
plus,
no,
not her voice. So
she looks like she'd be good. I mean, she's good in this role. I have to say. I know it's not her voice, but I think she's fine. But she's Madame Blanc, right?
Blanc.
Like Blanc. Yes, yes.
That's Madame Blanc.
And she's the head of the school. And she's sort of the administrator, the head administrator. Yeah. And she's talking to detectives when we meet her.
Yeah, because
detectives
are
there.
The gruesome death.
Yes.
The detectives that are there. Why do we need these detectives? We don't need these detectives. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
We're here to see the school, right?
Yeah.
But we're meeting a lot of people in here, right? We meet
Forehead Man.
Yes, right. What's his name? Is it Pablo?
No, it's Lurch.
Lurch.
No,
Lurch, you call him. But he's Romanian. He doesn't speak any English, and also all of his teeth have been replaced with fake teeth.
Yes, he thinks he looks so handsome now, but he's ugly. I forget what she said. He's an ugly man, but he can't understand you, so you can make fun of him whenever you want.
Exactly.
All the teeth. Why do we need to know that?
I know.
Talk about teeth. You should look in the mirror, honey. You and him could have a teething match.
Exactly.
Right?
So,
oh my gosh, they get jumpers.
Yeah, and I wonder because he does have kind of a good smile, that guy. So I wonder if that aspect was written into the script after he was hired.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You can Art. You can briefly listen to me.
Yes.
Listen. Are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
You can briefly talk about the staircase. I don't want to hear.
No,
the whole thing about the effing staircase. It's a great staircase.
It's a great staircase. It's got glass on one side of it as you go up, mirrors or glass. And the room is a nice shimmery blue, this whole room. Yeah.
The staircase is an awesome piece of set. If they built that, it's amazing.
And then when we watch, she's taking her to dance practice right away. She's going to be put to dance practice.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're taking her there. But also, we're learning that her room's not going to be available, right? So she's going to have to stay with Olga.
Yeah, but she wants to stay off campus. And they're all pissed off at her. They're like, what do you mean you want to stay off campus?
Yeah. But it's interesting because they also say, you're going to have to stay with this other student, Olga. She's third year, so she lives in town. But you have to pay her $50 a week.
Why are they talking about this money thing? They're like, oh, it's going to be an extra $50, but it'll come out of the tuition. But don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, so important. So important.
Why are we doing this? But so they go to the locker room. It's great down this red hallway. And she opens the door. What I love about this, Eric, it's very simple things. It's almost like something out of a 30s or 40s movie. She opens the door to the locker room for the dancers, and you open it and it's just all these dancers in there. It's just a ton of women, and one of them pops right up to the door, like, "Hi, Miss Tana, I've got something to tell you." She's sort of like whispering, "I've got something to tell you."
They all acting very childish.
That's where I was going to go next,
drop
Eric.
that now. We're going to drop
This
it.
is where you see that the original intention for the movie was this to be a lot younger. A children's, like we talk about fairy
Alice
tales.
in Wonderland, like those
yeah.
And that makes sense. You see these people in turmoil, like Little Red Riding Hood frickin' watches her, she gets her grandmother eaten, she gets eaten. Alice in Wonderland is frickin' tormented by somebody's going to chop her head off. So I can see where they wanted to go.
What we're going to start to see here, is like 12 to 13-year-old, right? Or 14, in that age, younger, right? Or maybe younger, you think?
The dialogue is, so I guess they didn't change the dialogue. I'm not sure I believe that. But producers were like, "You can't kill little kids. What's wrong with you?"
Well, and because when the girl is like, I want to call her Frau now. Frau Tanner, I have something to tell you. And she leaves. And when she leaves, Olga's like, "Squawk, squawk, squawk. She's the little tattletale." But then also, it's money. All this talk about money.
There is a lot of talk about money.
Yeah, because what's interesting to me is they're like, "Olga, you can stay with Olga," and Olga's like, "You got the money, you got to pay me up front. I'm doing this for you."
One girl's like, "Here, you can borrow my shoes," and she goes, "Oh, you can buy them." And Sarah's like, "No, I'm not gonna." No, not Sarah.
I just need them for today.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, well, okay." Like everything's a deal, a money deal.
Everything's a deal and money. Now, that would be cool, Eric, if that was going to be a part of this movie that played in was this. But it's not really. No. And then she's going to meet her friend, Sarah. So we have Susie and Sarah.
All right. Susie and Sarah start with S.
And what does that mean, Eric?
Names that start with S are like snakes.
I have to say, I love that part, like that part of the movie.
If you know.
I think it's
only if you know that it's supposed to be little kids. You're like, why are these?
I think it's better if you don't. I think it just works. So for those of you who have not seen the movie, yes, that little exchange we just did is what one of the girls says. But what's great is it's right in front of Susie, our heroine.
Yes.
And the two of them, so it's a 3-shot. And these two women are hissing and sticking the tongue out at each other, and they're getting closer and closer and closer. And poor Susie is right in the back. And you can tell if you watch a number of times, Susie, the actress there, she's trying not to laugh.
She does a great job because I watched it. I watched that scene again, but focused on Susie in the middle. And she is holding it together.
Yes.
Like, what are these two doing? It's more like it's very fun scene.
It's fun. It is fun, but like you said, that is really where it drives home. These are 10-year-olds, right? That this is this would have worked in that type of an environment, but it's now
so weird and fun.
But these aren't 10-year-olds because we're going to Olga's apartment now.
Oh yeah,
and Olga, suddenly we're in the Great Gatsby, Eric. Where Olga is in a white dress that looks like you'd be a flapper or something, and her hair is in a style of like the 20s.
Yes, it was a little Princess Leia to me.
Yes, yeah.
I thought it was like a pre-Princess Leia haircut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all tied up, and she's got a phone, and it's in her the wallpaper. We start to get the wallpaper in this movie. This is awesome wallpaper.
Dynamite wallpaper throughout the entire movie.
Yes.
Almost better than the what's the movie we saw with
Deadly Spawn?
Deadly Spawn. Almost better than Deadly Spawn wallpaper. It's close. It's close.
Close.
Yeah.
Right. But it does, whenever I see wallpaper like this, I think we talked about it in that movie too. I always go, it's funny you don't see wallpaper that much anymore. But it could be cool. Wallpaper could be cool, right?
The first thing we did when we moved into our house was we took down the wallpaper.
Yeah. But it is possible for wallpaper to be cool, like when I look at this. But then we're just seeing this other thing, Eric. This is she gets delivered stuff from the school by the student, a male student who's kind of handsome. And we're supposed to think, I don't know, that they have a connection or it might be a connection develop. And right away, you just realize as the movie goes on, nothing's going to happen. That doesn't
Nothing.
really mean anything.
And it's all girls all the time. The guys don't even need to be in this. And isn't there a girls' academy for dancing? Because
that's what I thought.
But there's a lot of guys. In
yes,
it
yeah.
dancing.
Well, I guess they need, yeah. They need
Maybe
that.
partners or what are they?
But we learned that he's. I don't even know.
We don't even
need to
care
talk about it. We don't need to talk about him.
No, I do want to point out that some of the dialogue is fun because when they say things, they'll say, see you later. And then one of them goes, ciao. And I'm like, ciao? You're in Germany.
I know.
Things like that come up where somebody says something out like, oh, gut, that's gut. You know, you hear stuff like, wait a minute. So I think that's fun. But
we do, if you're watching the movie for the first time, this is the first time you're going to hear Susie's talking to Olga about what happened to the student. We know her name is Pat, that student who died.
Yeah, dead.
And this is the first time if you weren't paying attention, we hear what was said at the door. Susie says it was something about a secret.
And an
iris. An iris.
You want to point out I'm wearing
as
close as I can to the iris.
Yes.
Sure.
Eric looks like some of the wallpaper in the movie.
Turn me.
Yeah.
Turn me.
Yes.
See what happens.
Right.
Spoilers.
And right away, Olga's like, she was a busybody. She was just a busybody. Yeah. And so now we're going to get into her routine. They're going to ballet practice in the yellow room. We're seeing blues, reds, and this is the yellow room. And we learn that now her room is available. They want her to stay at the school.
Yeah, they're almost making her.
No, like you said earlier,
she says no. I'm not going to do it.
She says no, and Frau Tanner, she says, I admire you. You stuck to your guns. But she's saying it through gritted teeth.
Yeah. Everything she said, she's like, you're full of shit.
Right.
I'll kill you.
She goes, I had no idea you were so strong-willed.
My comment. I love that your teeth don't. That's the thing. You don't open your mouth. You just keep your teeth together.
And she has to go down to the yellow room, right? But she has to go down the red hallway. And then we get the Goblin music pounding again with an addition, though. With an addition here.
Boom.
Right.
Witch.
But
is it witch?
Yes, yes. Somebody on there is going, yeah. But not, it sounds like just a guy saying it. It's not really melodious or it's very rough and gruff.
Yeah. Which makes it work. I think the guy said he didn't, when they're doing this, he was saying a lot of gibberish words. Like,
she's passing by a maid.
It's a cook. It's a sturdy cook.
It's this woman. But next to her is a kid who is right out of a painting you would see at the MFA, right? Like John Singer Sargent painted a family, and he has the yellow hair with the bowl cut, and then an outfit like a
little Lord Fauntleroy.
Exactly, or Oliver Twist.
He's
type
like Children
of
the Damned.
yes, Children of the Damned. And he's standing there with his arm on the chair next to this cook, and they're looking at him like, it looks like a painting. It
is so bizarre.
So Susie is going down the hallway, and the maid has this crystal, like a triangle crystal. Yeah. And it starts to reflect light, and it beams towards her, and that's where on the soundtrack you hear, witch. When it does that, and right away you see Susie's not all right. She's feeling strange.
She's got a migraine.
Yeah, she's stumbling down the rest of the hallway. So could you imagine,
Art, if they just did not a sequel or anything, they just did a short documentary about the cook, her twin sister, whoever that is, and little Lord Fauntleroy. Like, I wanted to find out more about these people's lives, because that kid, what the hell is that kid doing there? And he's very serious one moment, and the next moment he's like, hey.
Yeah.
What a freaky little
freaky kid, but
weirdo people in there really freaks you out.
Yeah. So she goes to dance practice, but she's very, very sick there.
Yeah.
She can't. It's very chaotic. The dancers are going around, and Frau Tanner is like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like, she's like, I'm surprised they didn't give her a big staff that she could bang on the ground. It's
something like she goes up to all of the dancers right in their face, like, what's the matter? Are you smiling? You know what I see?
Right.
Drop and give me 20. I mean, just You
Just
were in the service. It was like
yes.
a service.
It's like-
Gosh.
So all the other dancers are dancing with Susie is just, I mean, she's clearly on wobbly legs and she falls and starts bleeding. She's bleeding through her nose and her mouth. And it's really bright red blood.
Like somebody did nail polish.
Yes, nail polish on her. Yep. So we also learn in this scene is where we learn that Daniel is the blind guy is the accompanist for the dancers.
Yes, him and his dog.
Yeah,
he's always looking up, Art. Like he's got the big glasses, like what you would drive at night because you don't want to.
Yep.
You know, the just blockers, and then he's always looking up. Like is that a stereo?
Yeah.
What is that? A stereotype? He's
I don't know
like,
because you think of like Ray Charles doing that.
I don't
guess.
know,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it was very.
I will note just a little thing is Susie, our main girl here. She's on her toes in these ballet scenes. Like she's up on her. She's doing toe.
Yeah.
Like she clearly can dance. Yeah.
Yep. Well.
So
not for very.
But
long.
then she's in the bed and there's a whole bunch of people around her.
Oh yeah.
And the doctor is there, and we immediately are clocking. They're like, they're pouring water down her mouth.
It is a weird.
Yeah,
you can actually see her mouth. Like it's a pitcher of water, and they put it in a pitcher.
And she's like, no, they're almost like waterboarding her, Erik, in the bed.
Tell us the truth.
Yeah, but they're like, you have to drink this, and they have a doctor, and the doctor's. The doctor prescribes make sure you drink red wine with every meal.
Yeah, cheese,
with every single
and
meal,
fruit, and this thick red wine.
Yeah.
He's on
so
a
already,
diet.
Anybody who's seen a horror movie before, you're like, okay, you're thinking about Rosemary's Baby, all these things. All these people, and the idea is you're not going to move back with Olga. Like you're here.
Yes.
Like you're going to have to stay here.
Is this a setup?
Oh,
water in the school.
Totally. Yeah.
Here's where we're not, I'm trying to think of a way that we can't stretch this out, but we have to. So what is going on here? If they want this girl at the school, why?
Yep.
Why are these girls at the school? If this is, if something weird is going on here, which everybody knows, if you don't know this movie, I'm so sorry that we might spoil things. But if this is a bunch of witches, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the deal? What do they have all these girls there for? And why do they want Susie so bad to stay there? That's all. That's all I'm asking.
No, we'll talk about it.
All right, okay.
Go on.
Pointed it out.
Yeah, no. You're bringing up good points that you're thinking about right away, because the idea you would get from this scene, if you're clocking like, ooh, they seem to be, is that drugs in the wine? Or they, so they clearly want her here. What purpose do they have for doing that? And then, so her friend comes to visit. Sarah comes to visit her in the room, and she's like, "Oh, Professor Vertigast came to see me for the." And Sarah's like, "Vertigast came to see you."
Ooh,
like
deal.
That doctor coming to see her seems unusual to Sarah. And then Pavlos comes in to bring her food, and we see that Pavlos likes Sarah's lighter.
Yeah, he really jonesing on that lighter. Like, looks like a little.
He's looking at the lighter, picking it up. Yeah, Pavlo, just to remind people, is the Romanian with the gorgeous chompers.
Gorgeous teeth.
He doesn't, but he looks a little like Jaws from Moonraker.
He does.
Like
oh my god,
Richard Kiley. Yeah.
Can you imagine if he smiled and he had like
Richard Keel? Is it? Yeah, yeah.
That'd be cool. Yeah, he loves that lighter. He really wants that lighter.
So, they're talking, and there's a lot of talking that Sarah and Susie are going to do in this movie,
which I could say is skippable.
It's skippable, Erik, because like we said earlier, there's a lot of dialogue in this movie set up. It's almost like they're set up like we're supposed to be interested in what happened to Pat, the girl who got murdered in the beginning, and who's behind it. It's almost like a murder mystery,
what I'm talking about. It's a murder mystery. But we don't need it to be. We don't need it to be a murder mystery. But he's
or think of it this way: if we go with our childhood fairy tale idea, Erik, think about something like Harry Potter type of movies where it's all the young kids at a school, and there's something going on at the school, so we have to figure out what's going on.
Voldemort.
Yeah,
Voldemort. It was Voldemort at the window. I'll get you, Pat.
Right.
Take my daggers. You know,
So
that's what
I
happened.
think that's what all that is, but it really doesn't amount to
not.
much. And
We don't need to hear it.
speaking of ASMR, Eric, they whisper all of their conversation. Sarah and
She's a busybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't speak any English. He really likes your watch.
Right. So a bell rings, which means that Sarah's got to go back to bed.
Yep.
And
So
goes
it's
back to
nighttime.
her room. And nighttime, and so Susie's got to brush her hair.
Oh my gosh! Just like the preview.
Yeah.
It's a
So
brush.
Susie's brushing her hair, and then she feels something in there. She pulls it out, and in her fingers is a little maggot.
It's a
And
maggot.
you realize she pulled it out of her hair, and then she looks down at her hairbrush, and there's all maggots in her
What a
hairbrush.
Gross. This is so gross.
And then we realize they're dropping from the ceiling on basically every girl in this place. They're running around. They're showing us girls looking up the ceiling going, the maggots are dropping on them. One of them comes out of her room and they're all on her face.
Yes.
And
her mouth is open. Why would you
I
open
did
your
read some
mouth?
behind the scenes, Eric, and the crew said they had fun dropping the maggots on the girls. It was really fun to do that.
They said it was rice.
Yes.
But that scene, when you think about the nightmare or fantasy, maggots falling everywhere from the ceiling. What the hell is that about?
Well, I should say that Eric has a haunted attraction in Salem where there's a part of it where you walk through in the dark.
Yeah.
And he suggests before you walk in that there are maggots. But then when you walk through, stuff is falling on you from the ceiling.
Oh my God.
And it's,
what have you done to me?
I know.
Oh
I
my
know.
God, Art.
I just pointed that out.
Oh, jeez. What the heck? Maggots.
Yes.
Make everybody look up and go, they fall in your mouth.
Yeah, but it feels like maggots are falling on your head. So, so Frau comes in. She's taking charge. We're going out to the attic.
Yeah. She doesn't even care either. She's like,
let's get to the bottom of this. And she goes up to the attic, but it's food up there. I guess we're supposed to say it's cartons.
They're actually stepping on maggots.
Yeah, they're stepping on maggots, and it's in this blue light, and it's a long shot of zooming in on the. I didn't know what it was. I assumed I hadn't seen the movie in a few years, so I'm always like, was it a body up there? What is it? And they open it up, and it's rotting food. I guess is
the art you
what's up
keep.
there.
So you have this prestigious ballet school, right? And you get meat, and you store it in the attic. What? What? Like, it's, we were told the food is fresh. I'm like, what are you? What is going
we were
on
told
here?
we were told the food is fresh, but it's got maggots in it. So how long ago did they get the food?
What?
Like,
why is this a witch thing? Did they do it on purpose to freak everybody out?
I don't know, because now they have to move into the gymnasium.
Yeah.
Because
there's this thing, supposedly witches like to scare you, and when you're terrified, that's how they get their energy.
Is it?
Yeah. There's that part. If you watch the movie, Art, and you actually listen to what they're saying. Yeah, but there's this premise that so just want to point that out. Like, first of all, why are they showing you the scene other than to gross you out? But I think it might be a reason. Witch diddly. Yeah, don't give me that face. I'm right.
No. I'm trying to think of how that would work.
Yeah, well,
we order the food from the disreputable wholesaler.
Not the one we usually use, that hack down the street. And then we'll let it sit up there for a while.
Let it sit up there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But how the maggots get through the entire, who cares? They know what they're doing.
Through the ceiling. Yes, it'll be a long one, but it'll be worth it.
It'll be worth the payoff.
They'll be so scared. Yes. So we're gonna get downstairs. We're gonna see more awesome wallpaper in Ms. Blanc, the head administrator's, her office.
Oh, do we go to her office now?
Yeah, to hear this, we go to her office, and it's this cool wallpaper with all this stuff. But you notice this, even if you're not clocking what's going on in the movie. The only color on the wallpaper is 3 flowers.
Yes.
And they're the primary colors. They're yellow, blue, and red. Those 3 flowers.
And they
that are
I
on
think
her
they're,
wallpaper.
irises.
That's right, if you're paying
And
attention.
here's where we see a lot of black chairs. You know, when you go to the hardware store and you're like, give me the high gloss.
Mhm.
These are all a lot of black, dark things in here. And the
So,
room
yeah,
is
so-
so bizarre. It's a bizarre.
So Miss Blanc is telling everybody, well, we're going to have the exterminator in. We're going to do all of this.
I couldn't
But for now, we're going to put all the beds in it looks like a gymnasium, but I guess it must be the dance hall or whatever to set up. It all seems weird, but they also, not only are we going to put them in the gymnasium, Eric, we're going to have some production design. We're going to have the guys put up just some sheets, some nicely draped sheets around
huge ass sheets. Is it
Right.
a parachute? Where
I know.
Where did they get these sheets from?
So we have the layout. It's aesthetically really cool.
It looks,
but
it scares the
it
shit
looks,
out of me.
It looks great because all the women are in beds. They move all the beds.
It's so fun though, Art.
in
It's
there.
just like camp.
Yeah, it's just
so
like
fun.
camp.
It's so fun.
But it's ringed. The whole center is ringed around circularly with these draperies, and then when they turn off the lights, there's red light behind the curtains, so that everything is a red hue. And I'm like, I'd be kind of like, this is fun, but I kind of want to go to sleep. There's all this
what
red
about
light.
The people on the other side, because on the other side of them, I guess the boys and
yeah.
But do the boys have to sleep with these horrific red lights in their face? And there's our boy again, who we don't even care about. He's like,
we don't care about. He's waving over the top of the thing. Yeah,
but the shadows are cool. It's very cool. Right?
Yeah, and then but also, Eric, that environment of like, this is when they're like, it's just like camp, and they're all giggling, and and you're like, this is the 8 to 10-year-old girl version of it, right?
Yes,
This is where they'd all be there. Now, then somebody comes in,
a shadowy figure.
Shadowy figure comes in behind the drapery, and it lays down and
on the bed, like
and goes to sleep
immediately.
So you're seeing the shadow
immediately.
You're seeing the shadow and starts snoring in an odd way with a whistling sound on the
very
snoring.
Hard to replicate. It's like
yeah. it almost.
You almost want to get a fart in
What
there.
you're doing there is almost like a Looney Tunes or something, where somebody suddenly falls asleep.
It's just like that.
It's very
Just
odd.
like that.
It looks great though, and then I love this shot. The two of them, Sarah and Susie, start to have a conversation, but they're very close together in the frame, and it's a red light. But the two of them, just their faces, it just looks so, I don't know, beautiful and awesome. Like it's an awesome image and shot. This is where you really get that cinematographer saying that this actress playing Susie, you just let me work my magic all around her. And they're having a conversation, as we keep saying in here. It's all about, I think, the directress of the. So this is a little confusing the first time, but the first time you see the movie, Eric, this is a little confusing because when she starts talking about the directress, you think she's talking about Ms. Blanc.
Yeah.
This is the first time I remember seeing the movie.
Yeah.
I thought that's who she was talking about, but they mean,
Helena.
they mean somebody who's above her, like the founder of the academy.
Helena Markos, the smoker.
Yeah.
Let me change
And Sarah is saying, I heard her once snoring, so I recognize it. It sounded
her.
just like that.
Just like.
No, but I mean,
but you're supposed to think it's this conspiracy, like, all the teachers leave. They leave.
Yeah, because the teachers told you they were leaving, but who's this behind the curtain?
But so
snoring like a Looney Tunes character. Like, yeah. Now the image of this is in this red light. I like it. The dialogue is all weird and I don't. It's confusing, but I like this idea of like she's telling it like it's a ghost story. Like it is like, one night I experienced this, and I was, but so I like that, Eric. I like that idea.
This is what scared me, Art, in this scene, because I didn't take in any of that artistic anything. I was watching the movie younger, And I was terrified of whoever that was behind the curtain. And that snore actually scared the shit out of me. I know we're joking about it, but I was like, what is that? And they're going, I think it's that. And you're wondering who it is. Like, what is this person? You know, and why didn't they cover up with a blanket? They didn't pull a blanket up. They're sleeping without a blanket. They just lie down, go to bed. Must be nice.
Yeah. So then we kind of we immediately cut to the next day, and we've established already Daniel. This was interesting to me earlier in the movie. He always leaves his dog outside the academy. When he goes in, he's blind.
Yep.
But his dog, he doesn't take it inside.
Nope. He
uses his cane when he's inside.
Yep.
And our little Fauntleroy is coming with the cook across the courtyard.
Yep.
And they're coming and they're looking, and the dog starts growling a little bit as little Lord Fauntleroy gets closer.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
And then
that kid's
we
creepy.
cut inside to just the empty red hallway. But way in the distance on the soundscape, you can hear, and then the kid screaming, but it's very faint.
Yep.
And then Frau Tanner comes around the corner, and she is on a mission, right? She is stomping. We watch her all the way down that long hallway, and great filmmaking. Throws open the doors to the rehearsal studio, and it just shows us the rehearsal in full progress, all the dancers going around, and then it films her walking through them, like towards Daniel.
Yeah.
And
then playing away. He's doing
Daniel
his job.
doesn't know what the hell's going on. But this scene is out of context. It does get a little comical for me, Eric, every time I see it now, because she just tears into him.
Yeah.
Do you know what your dog did? Your dog bit the young boy, and now he's in the and she's like, we should take you to the hospital because you couldn't see it happen, but you can go and see the damage your dog done. And Daniel, what I love about Daniel is he starts yelling back like, what? That is impossible. And the two of them are yelling at each other, and he's like, you bitch. Also, it's this heightened dialogue between these two, and I start to laugh actually when it's happening, and I don't mean that. I just think it's just so heightened.
It is, and plus it's also that it's dubbed is funny. This is one of those movies where I thought something happened that didn't. You know, what are you calling that thing where the monocle on the? We talked about this before. Where you think it's something?
Oh, a Mandela effect.
Yes,
a Mandela effect.
I swear to God that she closed the piano on his hands, and he was like, "Oh!"
I would have loved that. I would have loved that. I would have.
Now you're blind and crippled as well. You know,
because what does he say? He goes, "I'm blind, but I'm not deaf."
Oh,
I'm not deaf.
Yes, it's a threat. Because he's hearing things.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I'm not deaf. So he's going out, and he's sort of like, he leaves the thing. I love it, Eric. He goes, fresh air when he walks out the door. Because
do they not?
Fresh air.
Wow.
And so you get the feeling he knows some secrets.
Yeah, I guess.
He's insinuating.
Yeah.
So they fired him. They don't want to see him again. And they, But
another thing, there you go, Art.
Yeah.
What's going on here as I wave my pen around in my hand? What's going on? Because the dog, in my opinion, was bewitched to bite the kid on purpose. So for some reason, they want to get rid of this guy. Why? And why do they choose to have the dog bite Fauntleroy? Why didn't they bite the sturdy cook? She would have been like, oh, you bastard,
And by the way, I forgot Fauntleroy's name is Albert because she keeps going.
No, it's
Albert.
Fauntleroy.
Albert Fauntleroy.
Albert is a great name, though.
It is a great name for that kid.
Poor little Albert.
Yes. Right.
Whose kid is this?
And then we cut to after this whole thing, we see Susie drinking the wine. It's like a huge shot of the wine in the foreground. Eric, did you see that? And like glug. Glug, glug. We see the whole thing drinking, but we don't see her. We just see the glass tip back. And so we're seeing the room through the glass. What I like about this movie is it's finding so many different ways to film things. I like when a young filmmaker is doing those types of things.
Yeah,
it almost reminds me of Eric, of when you watch Evil Dead, the first Evil Dead with Sam Raimi. And he's just always finding how can I film this in a interesting way, or a film, take the camera and put it. Sometimes it's overindulgent or just strange, but sometimes it pays off. But I just like when people are trying to find things.
You don't want it to take you out of the movie, but still take a chance. If you're shooting a film, do something. Yeah. Give me something instead of back and forth and back and forth. So this one, a lot of the shots are great. And this wine apparently makes her drowsy. And who drinks wine like that?
She's on a strict regimen. She's on a strict regimen.
She's got to wash the cheese down. My father-in-law drinks wine like that. He's Swiss German. He'll take a glass and drink it like just water. He's like, this is very good. And it's done. And then he falls asleep. But the wine is drugging her because she's all
right, and so Sarah is with her and is like, "Hey, wake up!" The
she's
footsteps.
Very upset.
It's all about counting footsteps in the hallway. They're counting the footsteps. That's interesting. The staff should be heading towards the door this way, but at night I hear the footsteps going the other way.
But they're taking a right.
Yeah,
everybody has the same exact pace when they walk, so I can count exactly what. How do they?
This is Erik.
Footsteps?
Once again, this is the 8 to 10-year-old version. Right?
Yes,
right. This is like, we're counting the footsteps, and Professor whatever is going this way and should be going that way. It's like a young adult novel, right?
Curiouser and curiouser.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Wait, we've had conspiracies before in these podcasts.
Yeah.
Wait, what if the writer of Harry Potter, saw this movie?
Could very possibly have.
Wait a second. Give me some toilet paper. I'm going to write this shit down.
Right. Yeah. So then what's funny is we cut right to yodeling. We cut to yodeling at the bar. Oompa, 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 the dancers in the bar.
What do you call that dance?
I don't know.
German.
Like Oktoberfest.
Yeah, where they hit each other and it is, you're just going, what? And Daniel's hangout, I guess. He goes there to have a drink.
That's where Daniel's there drinking, at the bar.
And he can't see the beautiful dancing, but he can sure hear it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
And it's yodeling. Like I said, they're yodeling.
Oh, my gosh. That is a dance.
Yodeling.
Like Swiss German, a lot of that. Oktoberfest.
So it's very lively. He goes outside, and it's instantly devoid of color. Did you notice when he goes outside for this scene?
There's no
gray. Yeah. There's no color except a few places. There's like a stoplight, and then there's like a yellow yield sign that sort of punctuate the area. And this is also where I started to notice throughout the movie, you see super red posters that are Bolshoi ballet coming, because I think but that factors into what's going to happen later.
Oh, really?
But
very important.
A big plot point.
Okay, good.
But he's walking, and did you notice he passes by 2 police officers that kind of look like they're dressed like Nazis? Those guys.
Fun fact, yeah.
Okay, what's a fun fact?
Well, the place that he ends up in, which is a real place that's abandoned. Yes. That's where Hitler gave a speech. So those are probably 2 Nazis that didn't know it was over. They're like, "Here's everybody. What's going on here?" Because
we should say part of Dario Argento's obsession with all this stuff has to do with geopolitical mixed with occultism and those types of things.
Holy crap.
Anybody wants to go down that road, the person who wrote the book of philosophy that this is based on, the sort of Suspiria spiritualist thing, the people who created one of those movements and the Nazis were a little mixed in together. So there's a lot of that going in there.
Just like Indiana Jones. What's going on here, dude?
You're right. There are
no new stories? Oh my gosh.
Right.
It's Hitler and witches.
Yeah.
Wait,
Hitler
what?
But he goes into this big empty plaza.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, no color. We're not seeing any, and he's just there. And his dog starts barking at something that we can't see.
Yes.
And the Goblin music starts.
Yes.
really comes in, and it's showing the tops of the building,
Yeah.
and there's gargoyle type things. There's an eagle, like a stone eagle, on top of one of them.
And you really do think, that's what I felt was, are these things going to come to life? That's what I thought was happening.
I was gonna ask you, because that's what it feels like happens.
Yeah, because
right, we're shown one of them.
Yeah,
and we're shown one of them, and then they do this really cool. I looked it up. How they did that camera move? Where it comes down off a building and sort of swoops down. Towards Daniel and his dog. It's the camera, like a POV angle.
Yeah, it was a guy with a zip line.
Was it? Actually?
Yeah, they had a zip line, and they would charge people to do it, and they give them the camera. No, I don't know.
No, but do you see what I mean? That was an interesting shot because it didn't seem like a crane shot. It felt like it was on a wire or something.
Or hang
and I think it was like some elastic cord they said, like that they had. It was very interesting what they did. I couldn't quite explain it, but it looks like that you would think that this eagle, this stone thing, has come off the building and is swooping down at him.
But then when they do another shot, you see the eagle's back.
Yeah, that's what I was confused, because I thought that was supposed to be what we were thinking, and then it cuts back.
Do you think, Art, do you think that this scene is a little long?
Yes.
I'm like, we're building up suspense, but that's enough. That's enough.
With Pat and the girl who got murdered at the apartment, we said that long build up to the eyes coming in the window. And this is also a lot of build up, because you got that Goblin score pounding and pounding and pounding. It reminded me a little, Eric, of when you watch those Man with No Name, the Clint Eastwood movies, like Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where people are facing off, and it's like, da-da-da.
20 seconds.
You know, like all the whistling and and it gets closer to their eyes and closer to their eyes. This is that type of thing.
Ooh, Art,
right?
Here's a project for you: is you get one of those movies, and then you put the Goblin music on that when they look at each other, right?
But and his dog keeps barking, and barking.
The dog does a great job acting here, I think.
The dog does a great job acting.
No dubbing.
Does the soundtrack cut out all of a sudden?
Yeah,
Eric?
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm imagining
it cuts out, and then there's no sound. Yep. But then we think something's going to happen from the air or take him out. I remember the first time seeing this movie, I did not see this coming. The dog, his seeing eye dog, rips his throat out, jumps up and rips his throat. Yeah.
And that scene, they use a dog, real dog for some of it. And then there's one where it's not clearly a dog puppet, but you can tell it's not the dog, but it still looks great. And the guy's really milking it, like, oh. And then they do something. I thought this is the way to do it, because the body of the guy is just off camera. He's lying on the ground. The dog is on top of him. You can't see the body, but you can see the dog pulling up just flesh. Oh, it is hard to watch, because they most likely used some real meat there, and it is just awful. And because you can't see anything that looks fake, to me, this is the most difficult scene to watch viscerally, because
and they keep showing it to you. It goes on for a little bit.
That dog.
I know when it was released in some countries like England, they had to cut some stuff.
They cut that. The heart. They cut the heart out. The throat slit, which we'll talk about. But they cut. But it was
this I could see them cutting, because even I, like you said, you're like, ooh,
because it's real. It's not whatever he's chewing on. He was having a good time doing it.
Yeah.
See, and that's why you don't get a dog like that. Not a wolfhound, apparently, but they call it that. It's the wolfhound.
And then little scene, we cut back to Miss Blanc's office and this is where Miss Blanc is let in on the idea that Pat remembers the secret in the irises, she tells her. And of course, right between them, as she's saying this, are the irises on the wall. Yep. So if you've seen the movie, you're noticing, what are those irises? What was that girl trying to say about the irises?
Yep. And on a rewatch, Art, wouldn't it be cool if you could see the secret of the iris. Like, do you see it? Because I was looking for it. I still couldn't see it.
I know.
And then also, does Susie blink ever in the movie? Right? You're
I don't
thinking
know.
about
I don't know.
I don't know either. But if she does, I don't remember her doing it. She has those eyes. They're just...
Good point. I have to watch out for that next time. And then now we're going to get more conversation between Susie and Sarah
Pool
about
scene.
the
They talk about the
mystery of
pool.
what's going on. The pool's great, though. The
Where
scene is
that
great.
pool? It's like a...
Well, when she's first brought into the academy, they say there's a pool here.
Oh, there's a pool.
This is.
It looks like a Roman bath pool. It looks like something you'd find in Budapest or something.
Yeah. The girls come down the steps into the pool, and it's almost like the camera is in the pool floating on something, and they come in and they start swimming, and it's just their heads above the water while they're having the conversation, and it's just right in front of them. So the two of them, it's a two shot in the water. Once again, great. I love it. I love the way it's composed.
Yeah.
But the conversation, like I said, I don't even have any notes, Eric, because I don't care.
But
I don't.
The shots. It's really artistic shots. I think the pool is cool. I like artistic shots, but not for the sake of just like, look how artistic it is. I don't.
Yeah,
really...
but if you had exposition that mattered in the movie and you shot it this way, this is the way to do it. You're this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
But then it cuts to an overhead shot with the Goblin music cranking of them floating in the pool. They have like a blue light in the pool, and they're like overhead, an overhead shot.
Nice shot.
Ooh, is something going to happen? But
no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And then we got to know about something about the Pat had been taking notes, and there's all these notes that she had, and now the notes are gone.
Yeah.
So somebody knows something, so the other girl's freaking out. And
I don't care. I'm not caring.
She's trying to wake Susie up. That was a scary scene too. Now she's like, Susie, you got you got to help me. I want to find where these things are. And Susie's like,
yeah.
And then something's coming into the room. Like she's got to get out of there.
So Sarah leaves because she's in Susie's room, and she leaves out another door.
Yeah. And do you think those doors are creepy?
Mm-hmm.
And also point out that the doorknobs, they have to reach up to get the doorknobs because they wanted it to feel very childlike. So all the doorknobs, if you didn't notice this in the movie, go back and look at it. But the doorknobs, they have to reach up to turn the doorknob. It's not doorknob height. It's like little kid doorknob.
And Eric, I have to point out this shot. You know the one I'm talking about.
Do I?
When Sarah's in the room, we pan up to the light bulb that's lighting the room.
Yeah.
And so we're very close on the light bulb, and the light bulb flicks off and the room's suddenly green.
Yep.
The whole room, but we're seeing it refracted through the light bulb. And then it comes down under the light bulb to swing in and come into Sarah. I'm like, once again, it's beautiful. It's fantastic.
And
I just wanted to call that out.
It's very bizarre. It's very fantastic.
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland. It's very bizarre stuff. But I was scared in this scene. This is another
Sarah. It's a scary scene. She starts getting chased. Basically, she's getting chased through the school. By what? By something? By somebody?
Yep.
Yeah.
She's against a door or something, and you see in the door there's a set of eyes there. I was like, whoa! And so the person, I think that whatever it was, smashes her against the doors, which are glass, and she does this like in the glass. Like really vicious, right? Is that what happens? She gets
but then she ends up running upstairs, and she closed the door, and it's locked.
Yes.
And then I remember this from when I was a kid too. When I first saw it, it's funny. I remember this being super scary, but this time I'm like, this goes on for a long time. A knife.
It's a razor. So it shows whatever creature it is, it shows it open up a case, and there's the black fingernails, and it reaches for a razor, like a shaving razor. And also, for some reason, there's two pins, like a pearl-headed pins in the case.
Yeah.
Why are they showing you this?
Yeah. But we figure out later.
But there's that latch. It's like a barn door latch where it latches the door.
Yeah. And the razor comes through the door, and it's trying to lift the latch up.
And I thought,
while she's watching it,
why can't they do it? Is this person like got
I
weak
thought the
wrists
same
or
thing.
something?
Eric.
Oh my
It's
God, like open the door.
I was like,
already.
you're almost there. You're almost, but they
so
kind of aren't. They kind of aren't
No.
even close.
I don't think they're even
right?
trying. I think they're just messing with it.
And it just keeps going like, and that's the only thing on the soundtrack, right? That at that point, it's like because the Goblin music cuts out.
Yep.
So Susie's in the attic against the wall, watching this with her big eyes.
Yep.
Not Susie, Sarah. Sarah the friend. And she's
Susie,
watching with
Sarah.
his big eyes. It's almost like it'd be later, but The Shining, where the axe is coming to the door. But this is just a little razor trying to get this lock, and then you hear the scrape, and then I think after a little bit, even Sarah realizes I should figure out if there's some way out of here because I think I could make a run for it because this guy doesn't seem to, whoever's over there doesn't seem to be able to take this lock off. And then she starts to she sees a window that's high up.
But yes,
now, Eric,
let's talk about this room for a second because this room doesn't exist, in my opinion. This is a weird, deliberate puzzle solving thing that she has to solve to get to her doom. Like it's almost as if it was constructed so that she would do this very thing. And this scene freaked me out because you have they're not suitcases or crates and boxes.
There's boxes and suitcases, and she's stacking them, but in a way that is not very sound. Like she puts like the little one, and then the big one, and then the little one, and then the big one. You're like, wow, I know you're being pursued by a killer, but this is not. But you should have had a safety briefing about this.
It's very dream. Like in your dream, you would do it this way. And there's this window.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah, it's like a dream where you trying to do something, but it's not reality working out, but somehow it does.
That's good. That's a good way to. Yeah, that's a good way to. And
that's
think
why
about
it
this.
Unnerved me, this scene and that little window she's trying to get to. What is the window? It's a square, right?
Because when you think about how this connects, so she gets up to the window,
and you see the box break, like the bottom box break.
Yes, and I wondered if that was meant or not. I think that just happened.
I don't know, but it was really cool. It got crushed.
It was great because it breaks, and so she goes down a little, and then she's up there, and then they keep cutting shots back to our person trying to get that lock undone. And so
I would like to see on the other side the person trying to do it. That's what I would want to see. And they'd be like,
imagine if there's two of them. And one's like, let me try.
Let me try. Get a credit card. Do you have a credit card? You know when you're trying to open a lock with a credit card?
And one's getting annoyed. I can do it.
Just let me do it.
You've been doing it forever.
Oh my God. She's going to get away. Why don't we just go around the other side? I think she's going through the window. All right, fine. I would love to see that.
So she goes through the window and she's looking back and she looks over, but once she's in that room, she looks across the room. There's a door across the room. Yep. She doesn't look
open.
on the. It's open, so that's her way out. That's her way out.
This room for a second. Just want to talk about this room for a second. Another dream room can't possibly exist on the wall. Do you know what's on the wall?
It looked like horse type stuff.
There's
tools,
a couple of tools.
There's tools, and I thought there might be a whip too, like a horse riding crop or something.
This is like a dream art where we're trying to figure out. I don't remember. Maybe it was a talking camel.
Now this could be. Remember, this could be right out of his girlfriend's dreams, like that she talked about.
Because those tools aren't reachable. You cannot reach.
No, they're up
tools.
high on the wall.
And it's a white room, right? It's just white. Mm-hmm. But she's going to get to that.
Well, no, it's dark because we can't really see until she jumps down, and woof, this is an iconic moment for a horror movie. Just even if this isn't out of a nightmare, it just really strikes at something so deep and primal of what happens. She drops into a bed of concertina wire, razor wire.
Yes.
Just tons of it looped in there.
Loops and loops. It's just there on the ground, which is, it's like when you're going to one of those jumpy places and you jump into foam. Mm-hmm. It's like a foam room, except it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Because it's below the door.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like they dug the floor out to
like
make this.
It's like
a trap. It's a trap. Yeah, but what was it the trap for? Who did they want to lead in? Like,
it was for her,
just for her, I guess.
Yeah.
And technically, Eric, I was trying to see, did they put like tubes of light in there with the concertina wire to give it that blue? Because the concertina wire is kind of all lit up.
It is.
It's very bright, right?
Yeah.
Like the concert. And I just for me, this is a big thing because I was in the Army. And so we used to have to, wherever we would set up places with some of our vehicles, you just always had that wire, razor wire on there, and you had to set it up, and you had these big gloves,
Oh my
that,
gosh.
like big, huge, thick gloves that you would use to kind of set it up very quickly. But here's the thing about that stuff. This is why it strikes me. So if it caught on you, like on your uniform or something, it was like, you ever like prickly bushes where suddenly your cat, it's like, oh shoot, it caught on there. Oh shoot, it caught it. It's like, it just drags you. It's almost like it's alive. It's almost like it drags you towards it and you're stuck on it.
Yep.
If you accidentally hit it. And so when I just have the idea of being in it and just you're just getting it all over and trying to get out of it. And it's extended, the scene. It's really extended.
Yes.
And she's in there. The actress is, oh my God.
Well, we did it, Art,
yeah.
when we had Slinkies. And Slinkies, after a few minutes, you're done with this toy. But after seeing Suspiria, we would pull the Slinkies apart to make that frickin', we called it the Slinky room. So we were like, oh, it's giant Slinky. That's what we're like, oh, because we're like, what, see you in the service. You're like, no, that's concertina wire. I'm like, no, it's a giant Slinky. Somebody took a Slinky.
Yeah.
But she's getting cut up. She's getting
cut up. She's trying to get out of it. And she gets across it and she's sort of at the threshold of the door.
Yep.
And then somebody's going to come in the door.
It's our hand.
Yeah.
It's razor.
Yeah. Yeah. Our hand with a razor. Yep.
And it's one of those, I've done a lot of makeup in the past, and makeup's morphed into different things, but they had this nose putty.
Mm-hmm.
You put on nose putty, you know what I'm talking about, and you could shape, and you would blend it, but it is you can't touch it because you'll bend it. And I think that's what they use for the throat, because it cuts right into it, but there's no blood. It's just,
there's no blood that came out of it. Yeah.
It's a big gaping wound, and it's so vicious.
And it makes me wonder if they had a version where the blood came out of the throat, but then this is what was substituted. But I don't know.
We saw a freaking dog.
I know.
eating
Yeah.
her neck,
but I was wondering that. But then they show the blood coming out of her mouth, her face. It's an interesting shot. What it made me wonder, Eric, is how'd they do this? Her face is all lit blue. It's a really stark blue light, but the blood is so red. It's blue and red. It's such a striking image of that. And I'm like,
yeah, it's that technicolor thing you're talking about. Maybe they they captured and increased that across. So So now her friend Tara, that's it. Yeah, another murder mystery. Where's she gone? All of her stuff is gone. She left in the middle of the night.
Right, but now this happens a lot, Eric. You and I review all these movies, and I'm always baffled by. We're getting kind of close to the end of the movie here, and we're going to stop for a lot of exposition. Here, we run into this a lot. I'm starting to notice it's something that happens.
We wouldn't be able to figure this out on our own, Art. We wouldn't be able to figure out that this is a school of witches. Are we not? Do we really? I mean, they just explain it and they go,
Yeah. Because we should say, for those of you listening who are too scared to watch Suspiria, and you're like, I'll listen to Art and Erik going through this. The Susie is worried about Sarah, and so she goes to see Sarah's therapist to talk to him.
Is that who it is? Is Sarah?
I think it's her. I think it was her therapist or doctor or something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Sarah had one, and so they meet at a very striking setting. That building that they're there, and that's the actual BMW headquarters.
Is it
that building? Yeah, with those 3 towers. I looked it up, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, that's there. So it's very interesting. There's these 3 circular buildings. With an interesting architecture, and she's meeting this guy out there. It's Kier, is that his name? Udo Kier. He was in Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, right?
A lot of stuff. He was in Blade. He was the lead vampire in Blade.
Yeah. So he's here playing the younger therapist.
His voice, because you know that guy's voice, right?
Yeah.
So, and he talks like this. He's got a very great voice when he talks, and this dub is like, it's got some kind of I don't know what kind of voice that it. I just thought it was hilarious.
But he's basically explaining to her about all of this witchcraft stuff. He's the one who brings up this idea of like broken mirrors, broken minds, like witchcraft and the occult Erik mentioned earlier with mental health and like all of these sort of things about what is witchcraft really? And he's sort of doing this while he's drinking a drink with a glass of some sort of an event going on. It's like a reception. It's very weird. And it's the windiest day that they could have filmed
but
this.
They don't care because they're not.
They don't care because it's dubbed. It's all dubbed.
As a matter of fact, I think that guy, he said he didn't know his lines in time. So somebody would say the lines and he would repeat them.
Yeah.
How about that?
And her hair, because of the wind, becomes another character.
Yeah.
It just basically keeps blowing across her face. And they know this is an exposition scene, Erik, because you probably noticed they're trying to find every angle they can possibly find. To film this scene. Yep. And then if it wasn't enough for us to get all this exposition from him, he calls over some backup.
Eyebrow guy,
He calls over Dr. Milius, whose expertise is in witchcraft and witches.
Yep.
And so he comes over to sit down next to her. It's an older gentleman.
We need more information,
Yeah, we need And what he tells her, they're focusing on you mentioned the name earlier, Markos.
Helena Markos.
She was a woman that was into witchcraft, and she came to she was hounded and persecuted. Mm-hmm. She started this ballet school.
But a cult ballet school.
A cult ballet.
Can you imagine a cult ballet and 1 and 2 and I mean, what?
Yeah. Well, we see this type of stuff. This is where the ballet school. I didn't mention it earlier, but the school stuff, in the Asian horror sort of boom around the early 2000s. I watched a lot of it. You probably did too. They took a lot from this movie in there. You'd always have like a ballet school or a school with these things going on. It just reminded me so much of this movie. I'm like, all these directors were influenced by this movie. But he tells her, he gives her all this backstory as to what's going on here. And like I said, once again, they're showing every angle. Have you ever seen a movie, Erik, where so many angles are it's an over the shoulder shot? Mm-hmm. With the person, but the person's head is gigantic. The person in the foreground's head is gigantic. And they're doing this on purpose because when they keep flipping back and forth, every time Susie is getting further and further over to the side. So it's like her head is half cut off by this older gentleman's head. I'm
glad you pointed
by
out,
the end of the scene.
Did they just not pay attention, or was that a thing?
And then right at the time when he's going into he's telling her magic is everywhere.
Yeah.
So now we're at a Doug Henning magic show, right? Like now,
yes.
It's like they go into between them to the reflection in the glass of the window and zoom in on the reflection of the glass in the window until it looks like it's the two of them talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's right at the moment where he's going, you have to believe in magic because magic is everywhere. And I was like, okay, I appreciate you doing this, but I'm also like, this is a lot of talking for we're this far into the movie.
And you know what?
Right?
We have to talk a little bit more because I'm going to tell you what the deal is.
Yes.
With the witches. Okay. So we're all clear. So our listeners and we're all clear. Got it?
Yes. Okay.
So Helena Markos, she's got the school. She dies in a fire. So she's burned. She's gone, right? And then the other person takes over. But here's the deal. Yeah, magic is everywhere. But witches, they get their power from fear and torture. So they get that power, right? So they're luring these girls over. And then when they want power, they can torture somebody and kill them, right? So that's what they're doing. And then also you have to have, you can only do magic with the power of the queen witch. So if the queen is dead, then you don't have any more magic power. But if you stand up to the witches, you're not afraid, then they don't have as much power. So that's why we got maggots. That's why we got torture, all that stuff. So that's why there's that vicious torture because they get power from it. Power. And from cigarettes too, apparently.
I've been smoking for 25 years.
So that's there you go. So now we know what witches are all about in this story.
Yes, and we know
Mythological
that the directoress of the academy is this Markos, and but how could she still be alive?
Right. And we haven't seen her. We've only heard her snoring.
We've heard her snoring. It must be her. So we're gonna move a little quick. That we're going to get through the rest of the movie here.
Yeah, Susie's going back to the school.
Susie's going back to the school, and she's not going to drink the wine. She's not going to taste the wine. Yeah.
Yeah, she pours it down the sink, and this is one of those, when I saw it before, I thought, why are they making this fake blood so fake? Now I get it. And it just looks like tempera paint that they poured in. She's trying to clean it up. It's staining her hands.
Yep.
And they really make an effort to watch her throwing away the food, and she's dumping it all down the toilet, flushes the toilet. And my first thought was, that toilet's done. You just clogged it. You just ruined the plumbing in this school. Nice job. But no, that toilet sucks it all down. Sturdy plumbing in that school. Thanks, Germany.
She's clearly caught on that she doesn't want to be taking any of the stuff that she's giving her, right?
Yeah. But the students, she's the only student in the school.
Yes. Everybody's gone to the Bolshoi ballet that's performing. We've seen those posters. We've seen those posters all through the movie, even in the airport.
Thank God for the posters, Art. Otherwise.
No, but I do like those details. It did set up that the Bolshoi's in town. So all the students have gone to the Bolshoi except her.
Yep.
She's going to get attacked by a bat.
This scene freaks me out too, Art. I watch it now and still I'm thinking it's when we did Fright Night, the bat, in the old Hammer films. But this bat, because you're in a nightmare world, this is exactly how a nightmare bat would operate. Because it is a fat, dumpy little bat that's attacking her. But also when it hits the floor, it still comes after her, flopping around.
Yeah.
It's freaky.
Yeah, it's flopping towards her. Yes. We got the floor level camera.
You know what? It reminds me.
That reminded me a little of like Trilogy of Terror, the little guy that's running around in Trilogy of Terror, like the bats chasing her. Yeah.
Yes. What it reminds me of is real life. My roommate had a freaking parrot. And the parrot didn't fly a lot, so she would put the parrot on the ground, and I'd be on the couch, and it's starting to make its way towards me like it's going to kill me. And I thought, oh, my God. This is why it's the bat. It's just flopping around.
Yeah.
After it's this like overweight bat, right? I mean, this bat has been fed well.
Yes, it's really pretty rotund. And she throws a towel over it, and she beats the shit out of the bat.
Oh,
and so it starts bleeding through
with a table,
like gunky sort of blood. Yeah.
She takes a table and
to get that bat.
But very dreamlike. That's what you would do in a dream. Is the bat still moving? You don't know. Is it still alive? Really scary. It worked, I thought.
Yeah. And so she's by herself, but does she hear footsteps again too?
Yep,
she hears the footsteps in the hallway. She remembers,
count the footsteps.
They're going this way.
Yep.
So she goes into the Miss Blanc's office there with the wallpaper.
Yep.
Right. She goes in there, and right behind her, she's sort of remembering secret iris, the blue iris, and they keep cutting back and forth.
Do you have the actual dialogue for that?
I don't.
Oh, I do.
Okay. What is it, Erik?
Secret. I saw behind the door 3 irises. Turn the blue one. And for the longest time growing up, I thought it was a purple iris.
Oh.
Because it sounds better. Turn the purple iris.
Yeah.
But turn the blue iris. So that's what she said.
Yeah. So we said earlier on this wallpaper in the office, there's these 3 flowers, all yellow, red, and blue.
And it's supposed to be painted. You think they were painted on, but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when she goes up to it, it's actually 3-dimensional.
Yes. And she turns it, and a door opens, which, like Erik said, I don't know if the door was there in the previous scenes, the outline of the door. It's pretty clear now when you look at it. But I don't think when you go back.
Hidden. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So she opens it, and it's a little door that goes back. Yeah.
Yep.
And so she's going to creep down this hallway. Goblin soundtrack is starting to come into play again. Pounding on the soundtrack. And it's really cool hallway that she's going down. It's got these words written on the side, all these different words.
Yeah, pedendum.
Yep. Yep. And so she's going down. And then there's this great part. She goes behind sort of some draped veils.
Yeah.
And then she's going by, but she's hearing things down the hallway, like, right, sounds of people talking. And she gets close and she can see through a door, and it's the Miss Blanc, and then some other people are in there.
It's the two which we see the two cooks.
Fauntleroy's there. Fauntleroy is
when she sneaks by the two cooks, and the two cooks are like Italian. They're like Italian cooks. They're laughing about something like ta 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 ha ha ba 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 da. And then they hear something. They come out with a knife. They're like, then they go back to what they're doing. And they look like twins. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Again, I want to see a documentary on this family. We make the food for the witches, and we cut up, sometimes I bring my little nephew. Come here. Alfred, come here. I just want to see that family operate.
Yeah.
But we do see them, they're in a coven talking.
It's a coven. It's all framed in this doorway, and Pavlo is there too. He's standing around, and little Fauntleroy is there, and the dialogue, she starts going, she must be vanished.
Yes. This is a good time to put on the subtitles. If you want to hear what they're talking about, you put the subtitles on, and it's why are they coming to this conclusion? They're like, that American girl, she needs to die.
Yes. Yeah.
What is, because she now knows too much? What were they doing with her in the
first? Maybe they did they mention, Eric, that she had gone to see the Dr. Milius or something like that, or she might know the secret or something. I don't, maybe they think she knows too much.
Yes, but what was the original purpose then of her being at the school, Art?
I don't know. Like, do all the girls become part of the coven? We didn't see that in this movie.
I don't know. And
or is it a legit training facility? Yeah. They just train. It's just the side gig is they train ballet dancers. And I guess because if the idea is they kill them, like to torture and kill them, that couldn't go on for too long.
Right.
I mean, how many of those do you think you could do before people said, I know it's a good ballet school, but
it's a really good ballet.
Seems like
a lot of deaths.
Seems like a lot of girls end up tortured, throat slit.
That barbed wire room, the giant slinky room.
I don't think I'm going to go there. That's what I was wondering.
Maybe they're doing this. Yeah. Look, I got a pencil now. So excited. Maybe they're doing this is they're torturing them through ballet. And
that could be.
And anybody, because ballet is murder on your feet. And so when they're like, do your feet hurt? Good.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't play with that, taking the shoes off.
So this is why, just so you know, after this podcast, when we record it, guess what I'm watching tonight? Suspiria, the remake.
Oh, you're gonna check it. Have you seen it before?
Yes, but if you watch it on the heels of the other one, it kind of expands the story and changes the story that you already know.
Yeah.
But the Queen Helena, again, has no freaking role in this movie.
Yeah.
She's like all of a sudden needs power. She's like, give me the power. And they're giving her
but she's sitting there, and once again, it's Miss Blanc, and she's sitting there. So the first time you're seeing the movie, I remember thinking she's the head, she's the witch, right? That's what I'm thinking while I'm watching it. And so then it looks like little Lord Fauntleroy sees Susie. And he leans over and he whispers something.
He got this big scene. It reminds me of when we did waxwork. It's like the little guy and the giant guy.
Yeah.
And he comes up and he goes,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So Susie, I think, is like, oh God, I think she clocks, maybe they can see me here. She backs up and then she sees something in the shadows.
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yes,
right?
It is creepy because it's Sarah. Yeah, and she's laid out almost like in a coffin or something, but she has her throat slit.
Yep. She's got all the wounds.
Wounds in her eyes. Is that where the pins come in, right, Eric? The pins you saw earlier.
Which to me, I'm like, okay. But also she's crucified. Did you notice that?
Yeah, she's crucified and she has the pins in her eyes.
For what?
And she's there. Yeah. And then we see Pavlo's going down the hallway with Sarah's lighter.
Oh, he really liked that lighter.
Yep. They hold it up. It's illuminating the hallway.
It's like, I knew it.
They give us a close-up. They give us a close-up on the lighter.
Yeah. He loves that lighter.
He's now got Sarah's lighter.
Yeah.
And so, he's going down, which it was an odd order. I think I was like, they should have shown him with the lighter. So we're like, oh, that's Sarah's lighter. Then showed Sarah. But we already knew Sarah was dead, I guess. That's not a big room.
Yeah, it's just the lighter. Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's like, if you really want that lighter, we'll just kill her. Okay, thank you. And they kill her with the lighter.
Yeah. And then the sound cuts out again. The goblin stuff cuts like immediately.
Thank
cuts
God.
out. Yeah.
But when she, but it does make you go, oh, where are we? And
it makes you like hyper aware of every other sound, right? When the goblin sound cuts out. And so what is the sound it wants us to make hyper aware of, Erik?
Would you like to know? I can do it for you if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Because
that's the sound.
Susie's gone into this bedroom, and it's a bedroom. It has a beautiful crystal bird.
Yeah, it's like a bird peacock or something, right?
Yeah, Bird with the Crystal Plumage was a film that Dario Argento made.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
there's a porcelain panther in there.
Yes, right? In this bedroom.
Oh,
and weird. Then there's sort of a curtain, almost like we had down in the thing, and behind it there's the snoring is coming. Yes.
Yep, same shadow. Yeah. It's like one of those beds, you mosquitoes, you put that stuff around it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, somebody.
And Susie's approaching it. Susie's approaching it. And then how exactly does it wake up? Does it? Yeah. It senses, I think, Susie's in the room.
No, she F's up.
Oh, she knocks over
up into that thing.
The bird. Yeah, the bird with all those pieces.
And again, just like a nightmare, there's these balls. Like, I thought they were crystal balls, but they're almost like bocce balls on the table. And they roll
across the floor.
Yeah, great POV of like the balls. And they hit
once again,
bed.
like I told you, finding interesting ways to shoot the scene. And they hit in the bed, and so.
But at one, it's like boom, boom, just like a dream. I really hats off to if you look at this like you're having a nightmare. This is exactly what would happen.
Well, I think this is the Genesis dream that she had about this movie.
Yeah,
is this moment? There was a witch and a panther, and
this thing, the shadow sits up, and
then starts talking.
It's Helena Markos.
She's clearly a smoker.
Oh yeah,
right, Helena Markos.
This is the American girl. I knew you come. You want to kill me?
Yeah. Oh. What do you think? What do you think of this voice? I mean, really, Erik, what are your thoughts on it?
It scared the crap out of me when I was
a kid. Oh, yeah. When I was a kid, yes, this scared, especially the crescendo it's going to get to.
Now it reminds me of one of the sisters in The Simpsons.
Right.
Marge's sisters.
You want to get a cigarette?
So you don't want it. And then it's like, behind that door
behind that door is hell itself.
And we have to make sure we know
it's the undead.
Yes, it says.
Can you imagine if she talked though like Yoda? Like, think of all the voices that would make Helena Markos work much better. Like if she was Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Come to kill me, you have.
So now,
come on.
Helena Markos.
No, we're not moving on until you give me a version of Helena's voice. I am not.
But
I want you to do it as somebody else.
Defeat me and you can't.
Like a different character from a different movie. Like one of the guys from the Muppet Show. Come to kill me.
You come to kill.
See, now, if you want to go forward,
you've come to kill.
Now that I've expressed what I wanted to. That's right. See, we could just do a podcast about Helena Markos's different voices. Waka waka.
Well, they landed on this one.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, hell's behind that door.
And also, we learned that she has the power of invisibility. Clearly, so
she's invisible. Yes.
She's invisible.
Yes.
And so, but we can see her outline on the bed, sitting on the bed, kind of, right?
No, we can only see the incredible indent. She must have weighed like 5,000 pounds.
That's right out of Psycho too, right? Remember the bed had the indent from the mother laying in the bed for so long.
Susie wants to kill her, so picks up one of those plumes from the
bird.
Yeah. But Helena's not having it.
Yeah. No.
You can't.
You think you could kill me? You think you could kill me?
I love and then that's where we see a door handle is moving.
Yes.
The door handle is moving, and behind that door.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And and we're scared, and it's just a great shot. I mean, her eyes, how wide can they get? Susie's eyes, and she's got the crystal. It's the iconic shot. You see it in the posters and images from the movie. She's got that crystal shard, and she's standing there and she's looking at that door, and it pays off.
Yeah,
that door opens and it pays off.
Yeah, you see the hand first opening the door.
Mm-hmm. And it comes out. It's Sarah, completely animated now,
with the freaking pins in her eyes.
Pins in her eyes.
But she's like possessed. She's like
ghoulish. It is a payoff. It's great.
What is she holding? Is she holding a razor? What is she holding? She's something that's going to kill her.
I think so. I'd have to look again. Yeah.
I think it's
but
razor,
she comes out. It's crazy because we've just crescendoed from that voice going like, this is the undead. And she comes out and it's really, really scary. Yeah. But then some thunder happens.
It's raining out.
Thunder happens.
Yeah. Fun fact about witches apparently is when there's thunder and lightning, you can see their silhouette, like, their force. For some reason. So you see a silhouette, just an outline.
So Susie gets to see the outline so she can see where she is.
Yeah.
And she plunges it into the silhouette of the witch.
Which was a cool looking
the invisible witch.
I think it looked good.
Yeah. And that sort of immediately breaks the spell. It's like as far as the undead coming towards her.
Yeah.
It seems like immediately that's out of the
But big time, because either it was a dream or if that was an actual zombie, it disappeared.
Yes, right. That's what I mean. It's gone.
What I thought, how come the body didn't drop dead? It just disappeared.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and then Markos, the head witch, does appear.
Yep.
She's now visible.
Yep.
As Susie's stabbing her.
Yep. That's the result of smoking.
Ugh. Yeah, she's really got all this ugly skin and burned.
Remember the fire.
I forgot she's burned at this moment. Burned. I totally forgot. And so she's still got that burned skin.
Susie just pushes the thing and it goes plink. It sticks out the other side of her neck. And then the death scene. George Lucas didn't see this one, but he should have, because now you and your friends will die. That would have been right there. But fun fact too is I'm sure you know this. That was a homeless person that they found.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that detail.
Uncredited homeless woman to play Helena Markos. Can you imagine that? Hey, you want a job?
What's the job entail? Do I get cigarettes?
Yes, absolutely.
Do I get to use my own voice?
Yes. Come with us.
But now the school's going to start to come down around Susie. And there's a lot of cool stuff here that they're doing with practical effects. They're sort of blowing up vases and pulling furniture across the floor with invisible wires.
Yep.
And she's going out and things are literally blowing up.
Yes.
They're literally blowing up around her.
The panther explodes.
Yeah. And it looks like Susie
trying to get out of the door.
Yes, yeah, getting out of the door, and she goes out. There's a cool effect when she's going down the hallway, Eric, where I thought I don't know what you thought. Where the wallpaper is like ripping, the walls are ripping as she's going down, and I was like, how are they doing? I was a little interested. I'm like, how are they doing that effect like along the wall? There, it was really cool. Like it's like rip like along the wallpaper and it's falling off. And we should say it looks like Susie, the actor, it looks like she's doing this walk. I don't think this is a stunt double.
Right. It does look
these
like
things,
that.
Right.
What I love is she goes towards the doors. Remember the doorknobs are really
yeah.
I think it was a black door with these giant ball doorknobs. She goes to reach for it and then she stops, which we'll talk about later. And then the door basically explodes out and she's able to get away.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then she's running things. Does she go down the big staircase? She does, right?
She goes down the big staircase and the glass on the side of it is breaking like along as she's going down. The glass is breaking. And then at the bottom, like a big vase on the thing blows up.
Things are
like next to her. Like things are exploding in the room.
We got to point out that she looks down the hallway before and everybody's dying. All of the witches are like,
yes, yeah. They're
all dying.
Yeah. So because she's killed the head witch. Right. So I guess everybody's So the place is starting to blow up and fall down around her. And yeah, like you said, she reached. Is that the same door you're talking about? But she reaches for another doorknob, and the doorknob itself blows
I think
up.
that's
like the doorknob.
the
doorknob blows up.
Yeah, definitely
And
exploding
yeah.
doorknobs.
Yeah, and everything's sort of
Yep.
exploding, and then she gets out. She does get out.
She makes it outside.
She makes it outside, and all the windows there's flames in all of the
Yes,
windows.
a
So
la
the idea is
Pirates of the Caribbean ride. That's what that is.
right. It looks like, what is it with these endings? Are
Everything's
they
on
out of money?
fire, Art.
Remember Waxwork
Yep.
was an ending where they kind of looks like, oh, we'll just put flames behind the windows
but
on
that
the
was
set
a
at
stupid
the end.
little.
This looks much
This
better.
looks really
but
good.
she's outside,
In the
and
rain.
that's it.
But
Yeah, in the rain.
expression
but-
on her face when she leaves, she was just completely. She saw a witch. She stabbed somebody. There were explosions. She saw her dead friend come to life. All this stuff. She walks out of there like she just shot a Nivea commercial. He's like, "Oh, that was great." Like she just is like, "Ah."
I agree.
What?
I agree, Eric. It feels like what you need in this moment. Like what they do today is you'd see her sort of sit down
Yeah.
and look, and she'd have like soot all over her, or you just see her walking,
Yes.
and we'd hold on her with an expression like, "Oh my God,
Yes.
I've been through a lot." But nope, she just sort of comes out and walks almost like out of frame,
Yep.
sort of like
fixing her hair and just enjoying
just
the
fixing
rain.
her hair and walking out of frame, and then that's
Yes.
it. That's it. Movie's over. We don't have to think about anything else.
Yes.
So yeah,
Well, the only thing we have to think about, Art, is what the direction was here that Dario said to her, because he either said, you did it, and this is how he talks. You did it, and you come out, and you're very happy that you did it. So you leave a happy, okay? You don't want me to be scared. No. To be a happy with your eyes and the thing, and you go. Or he said, now remember, you are now the head of witch because you have all this power, and you got out on your own. And now you're excited because you have this witch power you didn't know, and you're very happy, and you'll go, and then you'll go.
maybe
There's some people think
there's an option. There's people who think that. I didn't
Yes,
know that
and
there's people
the
who think that
remake,
she's that. Yeah,
Suspiria, not a remake, a reimagining.
yeah. Reimagining.
Once you get
Your favorite term.
reimagining trope, it's your favorite term. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
Suspiria.
And then we should say that this was the mother of size. This witch was the mother of size, and he went on to make 2 other
Yeah.
movies about the other witches.
right, because
that are-
Suspirium
yeah.
means size.
yeah, means size.
I
Yeah,
thought
so this-
Suspirium meant heavy snores. She should have been the mother of snores, right?
It is a way, right? You couldn't think of it. So they went on to do the Mother of Darkness and the Mother of Tears. That we got to see them. Inferno was one of the movies.
Inferno, and then that was
Inferno.
1980 or something.
Yeah, I've seen Inferno.
Oh, you have?
There's some cool. If you like the visual stuff in this movie, there's more of that there. But don't expect it to be any more coherent or make any honestly or make any type of sense. Like it's just, don't go in expecting that. But if you like the visuals and stuff of this, there's plenty of that in Inferno. Like it's good to watch.
Well, what
for that,
about
including an underwater sequence in Inferno that's really cool.
And I bet there's
Like,
the
really,
gore
really-
too. I think I saw a still where a guy's
yes.
eyeballs were down on his cheeks or something.
Yeah, there's gore, and then there's really some cool sequences. In
What
there.
about this one, Art? What about this gem?
Yeah.
What do you
Mhm.
say about this movie? You gonna let me know what you thought of it?
This movie is
Yeah. Oh, you hated it? You didn't like Suspiria.
no. I
Thought
love
it was a
I love
piece of
Suspiria.
junk.
I went to see Suspiria in the theaters when it came back.
You did?
You're just drawn in visually all the time. The Goblin soundtrack can be so pounding at times. Maybe because I'm getting older, I'm just like, stop this music sometimes. And I don't know if that, but the story is not really what you're watching it for. Like I said, it's interesting to me that it's laid out like some mystery that they think we're going to be following. But mostly it's the mood, the colors, the cinematography, the atmosphere, the nightmare quality of it. Like even from the beginning, just, to take a page from John Carpenter's book, you're just unsettled with just a woman taking a taxi ride. And so I just love all of it. I get a kick out of the things that haven't aged that well, like the dubbing and things. I'm okay with it. Like you said, it works. I don't see this movie and it doesn't throw me off as much because I love it so much. I think that it just gives you a great eerie feeling created through visuals, created through soundscape. You're thrilled. It delivers on the really brutal kills and really kind of jolts you. And this is a compliment I can give this movie. I like it. It's one of those movies, Eric, where I watch it every few years, but I never going back into it quite remember the order of everything or how everything happens. Like I always watch it and go like, oh, that scene. Oh yeah, that scene. And that's where that comes and that's where that happens. There are iconic moments that are just live in your memory, but how it all fits together I don't exactly see. And I do pick up things every time. Like this time through, I picked up like the Bolshoi posters and things like that. Like I do pick up little things here and there. So I enjoy watching this movie. If you don't like violence in your horror movies, this is be aware that there are definitely parts that are really pretty hard on the violence. But it's a shame that you can't say to people, no, watch this movie because it's so gorgeous and it's so stunning in what they're doing with all of these colors and everything. It does make you wonder. It's one of those movies where you're like, why aren't more people doing this? Why don't people do this with their movies more? Obviously, people don't work in Technicolor as much anymore, but it does remind me of do you ever watch like the movie in the mood for love, those types of the Chinese movies?
Where the hell are you coming up with these movie titles?
Or Raise the Red Lantern. They have these color schemes. They have these color schemes.
That was on my list of movies.
They actually work in these colors that this movie does, but they're not quite the same.
Raise the Red Lantern. Yeah, we should do that one.
So I love this movie. I would recommend it to people. Yeah. Only people to avoid is if you're really not, if hard violence like gets you, because this is not only gore, it's pretty brutal. Some of the stuff that happens, some of these stabbing.
Yeah, I think that's where you can make the difference, because there's so many movies with slashers and horrors and stuff, but this one it's brutal. So they're brutalizing. They're taking pleasure in killing the people. I think that's what makes it, even if some of the effects, like, oh, the blood isn't really that real, but it is a brutal attack. And they make sure you see the brutality, not just, it's like close up of the heart being stabbed. So I agree with that. The brutality makes it, but if you're used to horror movies, I think, you may think, if you're not honed in on the brutality, you may think, oh, this is, I mean, I've seen this before. I've seen people being stabbed before. It's just a different way of showing it. Yeah. So what did you think, Eric? You said you got, when you rewatched it, saw the movie posters. When I rewatched it, I got like, oh, geez, that bat is really letting himself go. Those are the things that I got in the rewatch. I'm like, damn, he must have, the bat's drinking beers at night. He's just packing on the pounds. Poor guy. That's why he can't fly, was what I was thinking. They let him loose, like, go, Igor, whatever the bat's name is. And the bat's like, oh, I can't. Oh, shit. And, he falls to the ground. Stupid bat. Get out. Take the blind man with you. But this movie is a very interesting film. You don't know why. When you say it's a horror film, it's like, if you love horror films, this is a horror film, but really this movie is about the way that they make it. With everything you said, I agree with. It's just, if you watch it for the style, there's no story. There's no story. You go in, oh, we found out there's witches, you kill the witch, you're done. That's it. There's no story. But it's scary because it's a horror movie, but the main thing is watch it for the visual stunningness of it. And then I really think you should watch it with the knowledge that this is like an Alice in Wonderland nightmare spinoff somehow. And when you watch it like that, you think, oh, wow, these girls look really small. That's why they all have big eyes. Oh, this is why the lighting is like this. It's not because he thought it would look good. He's like, no, this side's blue. This side's red.
Yeah.
And then the childishness and then the terror. It's a nightmare. It is a child's nightmare. And that's why I think if you watched it younger, you're freaked out. And so if you watch it now, you might be like, I don't. But I think it touches something in a younger viewer that I don't think he intended. But that I enjoy this movie a lot. I obviously recommend Suspiria and the trailer.
Even if you're a scaredy cat and you're like, maybe I can get a little scared, watch the trailers. You can pull them up on YouTube and they're scary. But I just want to touch on one thing that you just said, Erik, that it made me think about it as you were talking about it. The idea of the dreamlike atmosphere connected to what you and I have talked about with the young people. We've had dreams where we're suddenly back in high school or suddenly back in the past. Like we're suddenly in a younger area of our lives. And so that idea of nightmare dreamscape plays into that as well. It's like, oh, if we're looking at this as a function of somebody's nightmare, it could be, oh, suddenly I'm in school again, or I'm but with the wisdom I have now. Just a thought I had listening to you talk about it.
You're in a room that you like. Room is familiar somehow in your dream, or it's like I often have dreams where I'm back in high school, but I'm an adult. Right. I'm going, wait, this is or my older house or my room when I was a kid. But something's different, like that room with the stacks of boxes where you just go, okay, she walked into a dream room. And then the slinky, the killer slinkies. Just if you look at it like that, and then you take in the gorgeousness of, they built that set and they said, no, this door has to be 12 feet high.
Right.
Just amazing, the architecture, and they do close-ups on stuff like gargoyles and just the characters are all freakish. And I have to say, except when she's talking to the doctors, I almost think like she woke up from a dream and she's talking to real people. Like the right? And then she goes back to the school and it's back to the nightmare. I think she gets taken out of the nightmare in that bit. And I think, that's like you get startled and you go back to sleep and then something else happens. It's very looking at it like that, because I remember there was a couple years where I thought, this is a stupid movie, Suspiria. What's the big deal? But then when you get new knowledge of it and you start doing it, I didn't have any nightmares when I saw it recently. I saw it like a few days ago, but I went to sleep going, witch, like that. I had to think about other things before I went to bed.
But I think just go see it on the biggest screen you can possibly see it. Like if you have a big TV screen, like Erik said, and you can get if you for some reason have a Blu-ray player and you can get a 4K Blu-ray of it, see it big, because it's actually composed and made for the big screen. It's a good movie, I think. And a classic. It deserves to be a classic movie.
Yep.
So Erik, we did it. Suspiria. We talked about it. We made it through.
I thought this was going to be 12 hours of you and I going, and then when you break down the blah, blah, blah. But see, this was a nice journey.
You put me on notice, though. Did. That was good at the beginning, because I could talk about some of the shots and the colors forever. So good for you.
You've done enough with the posters. Okay.
I did. All right. So thank you, everybody who's listening.
Whoa.
Thank you. Whoa.
I know you're excited,
Erik.
I know you're excited, but you just...
I know.
Erik, how can we not put this in the books if you don't freaking rate it?
Because we don't have a rating system.
Are you?
We don't have a rating system yet. We keep trying to come up with one, and we've never come up with one that, like, a rating system for our podcast.
You know something, Art? I feel like I should share this with the listeners. I really think you need to take it easy on the ballet lessons, because I think it's exhausting you mentally. You know, that person you have, would you say her name when she's like, Art, choose a dance? And you gotta take it easy. So we do have a rating system, okay? All right.
I think I don't remember us coming up with one. We came up with one. Okay.
This one is I hardly ever give anything a 10. So just so you know, I think 8 is pretty good.
That's good.
8
for
out
you.
of 10 slinkies. 8 out of 10 slinkies. Yeah. Yeah.
And what I like about that one, Eric, is we can use it for so many movies.
Yeah.
We use it for like every movie.
Like all the Slinky Award goes to, right? You know what I mean? I don't think there's any other way to rate these movies.
And during the podcast, Eric, I have to say, I did want to bust in every now and then. It would be so funny if I could bust in a loud Goblin soundtrack during our podcast.
Yeah.
But it's been great talking to you about this movie. I love it. I think we both love this movie and what it accomplishes. So it's been really great. And thank you to everybody who's listening. If you want to follow us, you can find us at midnightcinemapod.com. You can also please follow us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe. You can rate and review us. That's really important for us getting the word out. So many people are listening, and we're gaining new followers every day. So keep going, everybody. You're really helping spread the word about the podcast. If you want to talk to us, reach out to us. You can reach us at midnightcinemapod@gmail.com. Send us a note. Let us know if there's any movies that you'd like Eric and I to cover. So, Eric, it has been great talking to you this week. I've had a really fun time.
Turn up, you California boy. You want to podcast with me? I'll kill you. Give me a cigarette.